This is session 31 of the Goblodyssey. Kind of like the Odyssey, but with goblins. Today we have Even, the Shark Instinct Barbarian, Frankko, the Braggart Swashbuckler, Mendax, the Scoundrel Rogue, and Puck, the Hair-Obsessed Cosmos Oracle. Alright, so who remembers what happened? We missed last session because I was terrible, so it's been a month. What does everybody remember about what happened?
We spent the whole session in a cave.
We spent the whole session in the cave.
Sounds good. We found so much cheese.
We were in this tidal cave, and we did a lot of searching. Even is kind of freaking out and having a flashback of something in his history, and he's making Lynn kind of freak out. Bijo, Mendax, rolls extraordinarily well and begins repairing the ballista at lightning speed. So he and Squirrel are repairing that very quickly. We then use the incoming water to hoist it into an appropriate alcove high in the cave so that we can be prepared if anything comes in. We find hiding spots for everyone. We realize that that bucket that Frankko had been looking in was for some sort of dairy product, and it stinks like old dairy. Uh, and then I think it was Mendax who found the alcove that's full of wheels of super rich, incredible cheese. Um, and basically, we realized that like this is definitely somebody's lair if they're making cheese in here. We all hide out for a while. We all hang out for a while. The water in the room rises and rises and rises to 30 feet, and then starts receding. And as it's receding, it becomes clear that obviously, if the water's leaving, the flow through the exit to the cave, the way we came in, is now reversing. So it might be something that if we use that, we could get ourselves sucked out of the cavern rather than blown in. Um, the water comes all the way down. We all are hiding and being very careful because we think something's coming. And sure enough, something does. It's a big Tentaclops. No, it's a Seaclops. It's on the top, it's Cyclops, and on the bottom, it's a party of tentacles. He's lumbering around the cave, and we're all watching him. And Squirrel and Frankko are waiting for a shot with the ballista, thinking that he's going to be somebody who's going to try to eat us because of the way some of the corpses were mangled. And he gets into clear shot, and my spider sense for Even was tingling at this point, and they shoot him with the ballista, but only after Rogan throws him off his mark by muttering about him being a big old dolt, and with this big old dolt with just one eye, with this bolt, kiss it goodbye. And they fire the ballista at him, and he starts bleeding gold. And at this point, it's like ding, 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 ding. Something is going on. The Octopus Boy, something is a problem here. Even comes out and is reticent to fight, and eventually does like drag him to the ground and does start to fight with him, realizing that it's too late to worry about what this is. We fight with him a bit. He's blinded and fails every save he can, and is healing like crazy when his turn comes up. So we realize that this is going to be a big problem. Frankko swings in, realizing something is up, and throws the necklace at him. When the necklace hits him, the jewels take on their original color, and he pauses, realizing that something is going on. And he says something like "Mama" at this point. Mm-hmm. And then Even bites him and goes crazy because the golden blood makes him focus on nothing else. It's like nothing he's ever tasted. He knows nothing, wants nothing except more. He manages to shake it off without doing further damage. And with a well-timed quip, Mendax says basically that we're here to scold you on behalf of your mom. And he says, "I'm in trouble," and then it stops, and that's where we ended.
That is correct. Anybody else remember anything specific to their characters or anything else you want to recount for everybody else's sake? So the MVP from last session was Mendex, so you have 2 hero points. And Nas, you wrote something up, so you get another hero point. And do you want to read that now? I think you're basically just recapturing basically what you described a minute ago, but do you want to read it in character or anything?
Yeah, I'll read it quick. The tentacle giant came into the sea cave and stuffed his cheeks full of cheese, even felt all his tension melt away. He stood with his mouth open and watched. The giant wandered the cave humming. He stopped to scratch his head at where the ballista had been, smacking his tongue as he chewed. Where'd it go? He asked, wiping his mouth with the back of his hand. He's wobbly like a baby, even thought. At just that moment, Rogan peeked up in the cave. Big old dolt with just one eye, with this bolt, kiss it goodbye. Hey, he responded, you're a mean puppet, go away. Everything that happened next felt like time was moving at half speed. Octopus Boy even thought. The ballista thrummed as it fired. The giant screamed, owie! The golden blood seeping from the wound. Even stepped out from behind the rock. He was tipped so far forward trying to rub the dust pod seeds from his eyes that it was almost unfair. He even grabbed his finger and tugged him to the floor. He could feel the tingle for the change. Not cruel, he thought, frowning. He remembered the ruined corpses they'd found in the cave and the leg bone of the elf. The indentations were teeth marks, not cracked for eating. His face flushed and he started to sweat. Teething, he thought. He sighed. Too late, he said. He let the change happen.
And yeah, that's when stuff got real.
It is noteworthy that when even bit the Cyclops, like the blood was essentially ambrosia, and yeah, you had to make substantial efforts to stop biting.
Yes.
Yeah, he managed to do it, which is impressive. He managed to not go insane and want to drink all of that Octopus Boy's blood. Yeah. Yeah, that is how I described it. Like, it was ambrosia, it was heroin. Like Lana said, there was nothing else but this. This was the only thing that mattered to him for an instant, and then it was gone. And he was brought back to this world of cold and shit and flesh. And he wants nothing more than to go back, but he shook it off. And that's where we are. So yeah, the last thing that happened was Mendax had basically convinced him that you were here on behalf of his mother to scold him, and he thinks he's in trouble now. And he still has like a ballista bolt coming out of like his chest. Like you shot him with this giant ballista bolt, and it's just sticking out of his chest. So yeah, so he's gone down now. I think like he spread out his tentacles so he's sitting as best a tentacle boy can. And he's like whining as he's moving it around and just repeating, owie. He looks back at you, Mendax.
I think, was there a box under me? I thought there was a box.
There's boxes.
Well, I'm going to stand on top of a box. I'm at least somewhat taller than I am at normal.
Okay.
So I'm assuming he's looking at me?
Yeah.
All right, so first I'm going to say, well, I'm Mendax. You can call me Dax. What's your name?
He nods and he rubs his eye. Because remember, you hit him with a dust pod too. So not only did you hit him with this horrible bolt, it exploded with this itchy dust, and his eye is like he had a red pupil to start, but now the rest of the eye is like veiny and red, and he's just irritated. And he looks up and he says, Polyphemus. He's rubbing his wound and trying to rip out the thing, but it's not coming out.
Puck will kind of try to scrabble up and treat the ballista bolt as Mendax is talking.
As I said, Polyphemus, this is Puck. Puck is our healer. Is it okay if he tries to remove that bolt out of you?
What does that mean? And he watches Puck
He'll make you feel better. He's also a barber. And he can tell you your future.
Of note, Puck, this creature is completely hairless.
Yeah.
I figured it looked pretty bad. Puck hates him already.
So he's moving the bolt. Like he looks like he's certainly strong enough to pull it out, but you watch as every time he gingerly touches it and it moves, he winces as if he's afraid of it.
So Polyphemus, is it okay if Puck helps you feel better?
And he looks at Puck. Back at Mendax. And
okay.
He looks sad.
Okay. All right, Polyphemus, if you want, go ahead and pull the bolt out. and then Puck will make you feel better.
I can't. And he goes and he touches it. And the second like one of his fingers touches it, he doesn't want to touch it. He jumps away. It hurts.
All right. Well, Polyphemus, over here, this is our other friend, Even. Even's really strong and a great warrior. He's also a really good cook.
He bit
Would
me.
you like him? Well, we had to test you. See, we were sent here, and we had to make sure you're really a child of a god. And so we had to test you to make sure you really are a child of a god, which you are. You've passed the test.
What did that do? And he's looking down at the tentacle that Even bit.
Yeah. Well, we wanted to make sure you weren't, a minor creature. You're really a powerful person, and we had to test you for that.
And how did biting prove that? How do you know?
Well, he could taste it. Ask him.
He turns to you, Even, with his red pupil. He moves. He like gets down close to you, so his eye is almost like half the size of your body. And he gets down real close. It's like, how can you? What did you taste?
I'm sorry. That was mean.
He nods and he looks at his own arm. And he asks you again, how did I taste? What did you taste?
It's hard to explain. But good. You're very good.
He looks at his arm and he opens his mouth as if he's going to bite himself.
No. Good. You're a good person. You're a good person.
He looks at the goblins all around him. I am?
You are. You're a very good
I think
person.
so.
But you said I'm in trouble.
Yeah, we're getting to that. Well, let me introduce my other two friends here. Up there, up in the rock, that's Squirrel. Squirrel is a really good archer. Do you see him up there?
And he looks up and he sees the ballista and he's not super happy with that person up there. And he goes, "Owie!" And he points. He's, "Why? You moved it."
We had to make sure you were actually you were a good person, and you are. We found that you're a good person.
What did that do?
Well, if we can't, the amulet. You see the amulet? You know whose amulet that is, right? Yeah, we can't give that to a bad person. So we had to make sure you were a good person.
And that was. He looks back at the wound. This was part of it.
Sorry, it's how we had to test you. It's what had to happen. We had to make sure you were a strong, powerful, good person, and you are.
All right, toss me a deception check or whatever it is you use to be the good liar you are.
What? Me? Come on now.
He has a 10-minute penalty to perception.
Yes, that is still applicable. You
Right, so-
murdered him within like 12 seconds, and then figured out what you were doing. Yeah. So he believes you. And he's looking dejected as if he knows he's in trouble. And he asks you, "What did I do?"
Well, Well, let me introduce another one of my friends. See over there? That's Frankko. Franco's an amazing actor.
Frankko, what did you do? Sorry to interrupt, but what did you You've jumped down. It looks like. Did you do any acrobatics that I forgot about or anything like that?
Through the amulet.
Well, if you remember, he tried to do the grappling hook on the ceiling to go over to the thing's head to show it to him, and just basically ended up falling straight to the ground, and then throwing the amulet instead.
Yes.
So probably doesn't come across as the smoothest of the bunch.
And he looks over at Frankko,
Wow.
and you're still wearing Roggen, right?
Yeah.
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 So
So he'll look up and wave and just be like, you're good. It's just we're okay with you, just not your behavior.
he looks sad and confused, and as he sees the puppet on your hand move even slightly, his tentacles writhe a bit, and he actually scooches back further towards Mendax, away from the puppet, and he looks at you and says, "That's the bad puppet."
So
Yeah,
Polyphemus. Oh, go ahead.
You're right. I'll here. Let me and Franco will put Rogan away. He'd be like, "Do you like dinosaurs better?
What's a dinosaur?
Oh,
You've
this
never
is
heard of a
special.
dinosaur before?
Shakes his head.
I just assumed all of the young ones like dinosaurs. Here, let me show you.
he looks. He starts clapping. What is that?
It's a dino. And Frankko would be like, and I can do a dino sound if you like that.
Well, yes. Please.
So Frankko will do his best compy sound.
Oh, that's
His
a good
best
one.
compy.
Oh man! Oh man! Oh man! Oh man! Oh man! Yeah, and it is impressive. He's like, wow, and like the way you've done, like you did with your throat, you did all of the little ridges and stuff, and he's amazed. It doesn't sound like the way you were talking before. And he claps again. He's put his club down at this point. And he's clapping. He's like, this is much better. This is Mendex. This is Dax. This is better.
Okay.
I'll tell you what. While you keep talking to Dax, I'll play more of the part, and basically as this conversation continues, Frankko will proceed to get dressed into his costume.
While Franco's talking to Polyphemus, I'm going to signal it to Even, and give the signal like.
What's the signal?
Hold the ball down.
Oh,
Puck, get ready.
Puck holds the scissors in a not
Wait, no,
entirely
Puck,
comforting
Puck,
way.
Oh God, Puck. Puck, maybe not dangerous surgery this time. How about just normal heal?
Puck shrugs and puts his scissors back on the film.
Okay.
Even will do as he's told. He pulls out some food that he's got in his pack. He unwraps a banana leaf and mashes a bunch of herb into it, and then holds it up for Polyphemus.
He sniffed the air around it, and his eye goes wide, as if he's excited, and he reaches slowly and gingerly to make sure he's supposed to be taking this.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, it's for you.
Even's giving you a gift.
Okay, and yeah, he takes it, and he begins looking at it in his hand. He touches it a bit. And what was inside? What kind of, you said it was a fruit or what?
It's meat, and he's basically ground some mustard seed and some like very. It should be very forward. The flavor should be like, oh.
Okay. So yeah, the smell alone has impressed him. He's excited when he's looking at it, and he says, "You eat this?
Eat it, and I'll take care of that."
He looks. You point at the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, and he looks a little scared, but looks back at the food that smells really good, and he puts the whole thing in his mouth because he's got a bigger mouth.
And when he's bent down, Even gets a grip on it and gets it clear.
All right, athletics it out. I believe in you.
And let's just say, assuming that there was a little bit of a delay, if Frankko has put his costume on at this point, he'll kind of like try to dramatically pop out and distract him as the bolt's coming out. Just like make a little dino sound, like, look at me, you know.
All right.
I personally want to see the half-dressed Frankko doing this.
Wait. Give me one more. Yes, correct. Oh my.
No.
Yeah. So he's eating the food, and you pop out, and he's super excited because you saw the little dinosaur, and now you're a big dinosaur making the same sort of noises, and he's like, "Wow!" He doesn't even notice as Even ripped this thing out of him. And Puck, you scramble up to where the wound is, and he's completely distracted, and you can see that there is like blood there. There's still the golden ichor coming out of it, but it is almost already fully healed. Like as it pulls out, you still see the impression, and there's like slices of where it just got ripped out from. But there's still, like, the wound itself is almost fully healed underneath it.
All right.
And with that, Even will scurry off into the corner. And bottle up that blood.
For later.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah?
Can we scrape up some ichor from the wound here?
Yeah, you can get 1 dose of golden ichor. Who's taking this?
Puck will take it, I guess, because he's the one treating the wound.
Alright, so So yeah, you see a little bit of the blood as it comes out. Because again, it was like it's in there, and it's like an arrow. It's got the I don't know what the parts are called, but yeah, it ripped out. But you're surprised in that like the part that got pierced is already healed underneath it, and it's just like the freshly ripped out stuff that's a problem. So let me find Puck, wherever Puck is. He's all the way over.
Next to the octopus.
Oh, you're on top of the Octopus Boy.
Yeah, real bad spot.
Yeah, I actually can't see you. On my screen, you're underneath the Octopus Boy. There you go. All right. So I can give you Golden Iker. It is now on your sheet.
Sweet.
And right, where is it? I can click on this, right? Put it to the chat. No, I thought you could just click on it to make it go to the chat, but I guess not. There you go. That worked. You did it. Boom.
So Even will begin furiously cooking over there as well once he's done that.
Furiously, what? Sorry.
Cooking.
Cooking. Okay, so he is eating this food, and he loved it a lot, and was going to talk to you about it. But then the dinosaur distracted him, and he's all about dinosaurs right now, forever.
Like every kid.
So yeah, so you're just putting on a show, pretending to be a dinosaur, or are you like reenacting anything? Are you talking, or just being a dinosaur?
No, he would be making some of the noises, prancing about, just like doing. With that kind of role, like being the dinosaur. And blowing all my crit rolls.
What are you talking about? It's endless.
Oh man.
So Polyphemus, did you know Squirrel he's a dinosaur trainer?
What does that mean?
He can teach dinosaurs to do tricks.
They do tricks?
Oh yeah.
Like what?
Squirrel, come down here and show him. You and Frankko.
Wait, you're
I'm doing a dino trick.
Oh, it's still passable. It's not as good as your other stuff, but for this captive audience, it is a damn good performance. So yeah, you're doing some dino tricks, and Squirrel, since he's not here, we'll say he reluctantly goes along with it just a bit, because he doesn't want to be eaten by a Seaclops. So yeah, he reluctantly goes ahead with that for a bit, and then yeah, so you've removed the bolt, and you've I guess his wound didn't really need treating. So yeah, what are you guys up to?
All right. So Polyphemus, this amulet over here, the one that belongs to your mom, that's why we're here. Your mom sent us here.
Oh?
Yeah, she told us we had to give this to you.
She wants me to have it? And he looks happy for the first time since you shot him.
Yeah. Yes. That's why we are here. She sent us here to give this to you. Now you have to take care of this. If you don't take care of this, your mom will be mad.
Oh, he looks dead. It's in his hand now. You threw it at him. I assume he's picked it up. So he holds it in his hand. I can do that. I can do that.
Good.
He's looking at it. Right. It's like glowing faintly, and it's got those sapphire teardrops, and it's beautiful.
So Polyphemus, how often do you talk to your mom?
I haven't talked to my mom in a long time. I don't know why I'd be in trouble.
Well, it would be in trouble if you hurt us more, because we are luck goblins.
What?
Do you know what we are luck goblins? Do you know what a luck goblin is?
Mm-mm.
Oh, a luck goblin. If you treat a luck goblin nicely, good things happen for you. But if you treat a luck goblin badly, bad things are going to happen to you.
Oh. He looks at all
so
of you.
You've been treating us. Yeah, we're all luck goblins. Oh. You've been treating us really good, so good things are going to happen to you.
Oh, and he looks happy again. And he's watching the little play that's still going on in the background as you're talking. Oh, and he's happy. Yeah. And Even has started cooking. And what are you cooking?
Something very strongly flavored. Maybe he'll do like mashed fruit or something like that.
Okay.
Like maybe a cobbler, let's say.
A cobbler. So as you go to begin cooking, you realize that the water level has begun to rise. Like when he came in, the water level was already on the way up, and as you've been talking for a little bit, it has rose to the next level. So hopefully this button works now. Oh, yeah, you got to click on somebody now, but I think the button works if you click on somebody. Let me know if that did not work.
It do. We are all floating 10
Yeah.
feet, and the ground is water.
Correct. There you go. All right. So the water has begun to rise, and he hasn't seemed to care all that much. But now, as you've been talking for, say like 10 minutes or so, the water has begun to rise up. So when you go to look for a spot to cook, even you have to find somewhere a little higher, and you'll have about 2 hours before it's the next level of water.
Okay. Yeah, so he'll do that.
Okay.
Wherever he needs to be.
All right. Yeah. That's fine. I'll just drag it over there. And then I'm going to ask everybody for a perception-y check. DP. I still have squirrel on that. Yeah. Puck, did you not roll it?
I did. It said, I clicked it, and then it asked me to pick, fortune or misfortune or normal, and I hit normal and roll, and then
All right.
it did not. But here's one from
Give it again.
I think the dice will have to
up here.
take.
Yeah, there you go.
That's one off the top.
I like that. I like that one.
Yeah, everybody but Frankko. You noticed, similar to last time, when the water is rushing up, lots of fish are being sucked into this cave with you as well. But unlike last time, it is significantly more now. There is a large glut of fish seemingly being pushed into and trapped into this cave. And as you're talking, the Seaclops will occasionally just snatch out his hand and grab a fish and just shove the whole thing in his mouth, throw it in there wriggling.
Is there anything particularly delicious?
Yes. I don't know fish well enough to give you straight answers, but yes, there are delicious-looking fish.
At a simmering point, even will go and grab some fish he's never eaten and try to swim down a fish he's never eaten.
Okay. Give me a survival check to see how well you forage for fish, but it's catching fish in a barrel at this point. Or in a tidal cave, as it were. So yes, you were still talking. Sorry, I interrupted you to raise the water level. Oh yeah, you find lots of good fish.
All right, as Polyphemus, can I sit on your shoulder? I don't like to get my shoes wet.
Not this one, because there's still a little hole.
All right, can I sit on the other shoulder?
Looks and he thinks about it, but nods.
Thanks, you're a good friend.
He smiles. He looks at the other luck goblins scurrying around or swimming around in the water. What are you doing in the raptor costume now that the water's gone?
I think he would just find a perch and continue along.
Okay. And he's very content to watch you while talking to Mendax. So what's everybody else up to? What are we doing?
Puck has slithered up into some crevasse to avoid the water.
Okay.
I can give you a crevasse roll if you'd like.
It's athletics for you to squeeze into crevasses. Yeah. Yep. Oh, sorry, acrobatics to squeeze, athletics to climb and stuff. You're right. Sorry. Yeah, you find a good crevasse and are able to squeeze in. And as long as you're not climbing too high, you don't have to make any other checks. If you're just kind of finding a crevasse high.
Yeah, just out of the way from the water for now.
Okay. And again, Lynn, Vilda, and Helmet are all here, but they're hiding. Helmet's still hiding in the cheese area. And Lynn and Vilda were all also hiding in their own crevasses at the top, and they did not come out when the giant Seaclops. They are still hiding. All right. Yeah, so you sit on his shoulder, and he's watching Frankko.
And I get him to applaud at the right times, and we get him all excited. I'll keep hyping up the two performers.
Okay. And Squirrel again is reluctantly performing. He's not doing a whole lot. He's letting Frankko carry the show, but every once in a while Frankko will look at him, and Squirrel will do the thing that's expected of him reluctantly.
He's doing that solid take 10 on performance.
He's
killing the show, buddy. He's killing the show, Frankko. Fire him, fire him.
Okay, so you talk to him for a bit, and he seems to be a little friendly with you, but he's still mostly just watching the show and eating fish. And as Even begins cooking, he smells the air again. Because you used fire? Yeah, you said you were. Yeah. So he looks around and he sees you making a fire, and making food and smelling it, and he asks you, Mendax, what's he doing?
Oh, it's a surprise, but he's a very, very good cook. And since you're our friend, he's making you some special tasty food.
He's making food?
For you.
And he looks over and he waves
No,
one of
no,
his
don't
tentacles
look.
at you even.
It's going to be a surprise. We like a surprise, right? You like surprises? Okay, let's keep watching Frank. Oh, look at that! Look!
And he moves in close to you, Mendax, and he whispers, he's, I can make food too.
Really?
Yeah.
What can you make?
Mommy taught me to make cheese.
Wow. How do you make cheese?
He says, you need milk first. It's easy. You could probably do it if I told you.
Where do you get milk?
He smiles. You'll see. It looks like you said. It's a surprise.
You have a surprise too?
Yes.
Ah, I'm excited. I can't wait till you show us.
He nods, and he points around. Also, he says, "The pink ones. That's one of the secrets. I'll tell you that one now. Mommy told me. The pink ones. You squeeze it into the milk. That's the secret."
Oh, wow. She taught you well.
He nods. He says, "You have to wait a long time for it to get real good. That's the other secret. It's hard waiting sometimes."
Yeah, I don't like waiting either.
Hmm.
Ooh, did you see that? Pointing towards Frankko again.
Yeah, and he claps. And he keeps turning back towards the food because he keeps smelling it. It smells amazing to him. And he goes, "I have some cheese. It's not very old."
Oh. Well, let's see how it compares to Evan's amazing cooking.
Okay.
No peeking, though. Don't peek.
Okay. And he continues to try to peek. He definitely looks over his shoulder every once in a while at the good smelling food. But again, he's thoroughly entertained.
Watch the show. Watch the show.
Okay. All right. So the show goes on for a while. He continues to watch. And even, you want to make a craft check to see if you just totally fail to make food?
Sure. Oh, I'm gonna.
You got hero point that.
I got to.
This is your reputation. Nothing else but your reputation.
This is my first elf haircut. You got a hero point.
Yeah.
That's passable. That's an above average meal. You're not wowing most people, but he is a child who hasn't tasted these things before, and you did not offend his childish palate. So yeah, would you bring it over to him or?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Fish sticks.
It's a big. He makes like a big pot of like a jelly kind of something or other with a ton of fruit in it, and he just makes as much fruit as he can. And the bulk sort of affects the quality of it, but it's passable, he thinks, and he brings it over.
And so you have this big thing, and you're swimming over with like a cauldron, or what did you?
I guess he'll try to swim over and maybe like, hey, as he starts to struggle.
Okay. So you do that, and as you're going over, you see floating in the water as you're going over there. There's all these boxes and supplies and stuff that you brought in. Some of them do float, including 2 of the barrels. One of them, the elven whiskey you had, and another one of elven wine that you brought with you on the boat. So you swim across, and you come over, and in a lull in the play, not that there are many, he turns to you and he sees you kind of struggling with the thing. And one of his tentacles comes up and just wraps around it and pulls it and you towards him. He says, "You're a pretty good swimmer."
Not as good as you, but pretty good.
I am pretty good. He looks back at the show. You mentioned, what is this thing he brought over?
Oh, what I brought over?
Yes, sorry.
Oh, it's a sort of a jelly cobbler concoction, and he made it with just a ton of fruit, knowing that this is like a very big thing, so he wants it to be a big portion.
Okay. And he looks at you and looks at it. He says, I can have this?
It's for you.
Do you want any? He looks at you and Mendex.
Sure. Sure.
Okay.
I'll grab a little bit as it gets near his mouth, but not too close to the mouth.
All right, so yeah, he lets
sharing is caring.
Yeah, he smiles, he nods, and he takes just one finger and he like swabs the inside of it, and he takes like a lot. Like basically, he gets like a third of it in one finger swab, and you go, That's good. That's real good. He looks at you
Remember,
too as
Polyphemus, don't forget to thank Even.
He looks back. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Even.
I'm concerned we're making ourselves invaluable to this
Yeah,
Cyclops toddler.
And yet, so after he does that one thing, and he looks at you as if, like, see if you're going back for more, he is just, like, taking full handfuls of it and getting the inside, and he begins turning upside down and starting to lick the inside with his tongue. This is really good.
I'm glad you like it.
Like, we don't get things like that down here. He looks around at the things that are growing on the walls and the fish.
Polyphemus, who is we?
Shrugs. Everybody down here, and he points to the fish.
Oh, you and the fish? Oh, okay.
Do you have any other friends?
He nods and smiles, says, "That's what's one of the secrets. They're coming soon."
Oh, yeah? How soon? I don't like the
Don't like it.
I'm getting excited. When are you gonna show us your secret?
He looks at the wall, and he points to one of the lines on it. He says, "Then, it's not all the way up, but it's like higher than here." He just points to a line on the wall.
Do you think whatever comes will be our friends too?
Probably. They're playful.
Cool. Will they play with dinos?
I don't know. They might be scared. They're not as brave as me.
Oh. I can always stop being a dino if they're scared.
That's good. Yeah, so he loved this little fruit cobbler, and he's talking to you guys. Anything else you want to talk about or do? You moving over there, Puck? What are you doing?
Yeah, so Puck has noticed the bleeding that's occurring amongst the party as this discussion veers towards unknown people coming. And just kind of, sidles over and starts quietly patching up even. We'll just do the freebie.
I'll lean behind to Polyphemus' head and point at myself also so he doesn't see it.
And you're doing like the guaranteed successes?
Single Puck.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as this is going on, Frankko will go, you know what dinos really aren't good at, unfortunately?
What?
Swimming through tight spaces.
Oh.
Do you think you could help your dino friend and his friends get out of this place when the water comes down?
I probably could. He looks at the water rising. Yeah, I can swim real good.
I know. And you have lots of tentacles that you can hold things, right? That would be awesome.
It is.
We could be like your toys that you bring out.
Well, I don't have many toys. And he looks around, and one of his tentacles picks up a rock and just throws it, splooshing it in the corner.
And we're special toys. You wouldn't want to leave us in the cave. It's not safe here for us.
Why?
Well, this isn't where we belong. We have to go back where we belong, just like you do with your toys.
Why?
What happens to toys that don't get put away?
I don't know.
What happens to your toys when you don't put them away?
I don't.
What does your mommy say?
Toys. I don't have many toys. And he looks at the necklace. After you ask what mommy says, he looks at the necklace and he holds it really tight.
You've never had any toys?
Mm-mm.
Oh, that's so sad. Well, for now, you have a dino toy, and usually you want to put toys back where they came from so you don't lose them. We're not from in the cave, right? We haven't been here before.
I've never seen you.
No. So we don't belong here.
Oh.
So when the water goes back out, you should bring us back out where we belong.
But you're fun here.
Yeah, but it's not safe for us here, and we don't belong here. We're gonna get broken if we stay here for too long.
Why?
We're not designed for caves. We can't get wet that much. Dinos can't swim.
He looks at Puck, who is very easily squeezing into crevasses in the cave. And he says, "You're not? I don't." Says this. It's fine for me. It's fine here. It's safe.
We are not a normal dinosaur.
Ah. Yeah, he's screwing up to Mendak. Ah. What was that?
If remember I told you we are luck goblins, and if you treat us nicely, good things will happen to you. But if you treat us badly, something bad bad things might happen to you.
Oh.
I think Puck over there is just scared you might not take us back home.
Oh.
You wouldn't do that to us, right?
I don't know.
You don't want to be taken away from home, do you?
No.
Now, see, we want to be the same way. We like to be taken home too.
Oh.
But
And I'll tell you what.
We can stay here with you for a little bit. We can be your friends still.
And I'll tell you what, if you bring us out of the cave, I'll tell you where you can find a whole lot more dino toys just like me.
He seems super excited about that.
Because we know we were just in a place that had tens, maybe hundreds of dinos.
Wow. And they all look like that, and he points to your costume.
A lot of them do. There are some that are a lot bigger.
Oh,
There are some that
bigger?
are even a lot smaller. They have eggs.
They have eggs.
So if you take us out of this cave, we can point to you where you need to go and tell you. But we can't in this cave. We don't know where we are.
Mm. And you can tell he's thinking about it, but he's confused because he likes you. He likes having you toys. And he looks back at Mendax, and he says, "How long can you stay?"
We can stay for a day. And then maybe we'll come back another time to visit you again. And maybe we'll visit you another time. And maybe you can come visit us. Would you like to come visit us sometimes?
Where are you?
Oh, we have a special vehicle that we travel on top of the water on.
You travel on top of the water? On a
We
ship?
do. We do. We have a special ship.
Ah. Why?
Because we can't swim, remember? Only Even's a good swimmer. I'm a terrible swimmer.
Is that Puck?
That's
When you came over, how bad were you swimming? By the way, when you came over to Even, toss me an.
That's a good question.
Toss me
Yeah,
an athletics check to see how embarrassing you swam.
I probably poorly historically.
No, that's a respectable. Yeah, it's a respectable swim. Yeah.
Better than Mendax.
Yeah. So I like you. I like you. I think you should stay.
I like you too, Polyphemus. But you're going to show us your secret, right? You said you had some secrets.
And he looks at the wall, and you can see the water is getting closer to the line he pointed at.
All right, we'll stay and see what your secret is. We like to see your secrets because we're good guests.
Okay. And he looks a little sad that you might be leaving. But as it were, the water does go up another level. Bloop, bloop, bloop. You click on somebody to see the change. And soon enough, you see some of his friends come. And coming out of the hole, you see a bunch.
How many heals did I get on Even while
Oh.
that was going on?
A while.
Just
I don't know.
10-minute. Yeah, 10 minutes.
Basically, is everybody healed? Is what you're saying?
Even certainly would be totally healed, yeah. Let me just heal hop all the way. Oh, that button doesn't work. That's cool.
Dead.
Dead. You're dead. Alright. So yeah, did you want to heal anybody else?
I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, what?
You can get Mendax. We'll say you get Mendax, and Frankko is over there just distracting him. So let's just say you get you and Mendax.
All right.
And I'll just heal on Mendax and not use that button because the button is broken. Okay. So as you guys are talking, and eventually you hear the clicking and whistling of some dolphins that have found their way into the tidal cave. And they are just loving the fact that there are tons of fish trapped here. And they are in, not a feeding frenzy, but they're basically just gorging here in this tidal cave. And the Seaclops, once he begins hearing the whistling and the clacking, and he turns around and he looks at all the dolphins who are now like jumping up and biting fish and stuff like that. And he goes, I told you they were coming.
Ooh,
And
that's awesome.
and he watches.
Do they have names?
He said, no. And
Oh, you should name them.
Why?
They're your friends, aren't they?
He shrugs. I guess. They come here all the
Yeah.
time. They
Let's
visit me.
let's give them names.
Oh. And so he watches, he lumbers over, and he scoops up in one tentacle that big bucket that you saw, and he walks over, or I guess swims over, and he grabs one of them, just picks it up out of the water with his hand, with one hand, and he holds it up to your face, Mendax. He says, what is this one called?
Oh. Does he do any special tricks?
Looks at it and shakes it a bit. No.
We'll call that one Dolphin number 1.
Dolphin number 1. Okay. And you watch as he takes the dolphin, who is like writhing but doesn't seem to be fighting too much, the fact that he's in this giant's hand. And you watch as he takes it and begins rubbing its belly and producing milk from the dolphin into the bucket.
Wow. This is your secret, huh?
He nods. He says, Mama showed
You're
me.
good. Oh, wow. You're really good at this.
And the dolphin, again, looks very not enthused to be in this situation, but is not writhing, as if he understands what happens if you writhe too much.
Ooh, this is not the first rodeo.
Correct. And after a couple of minutes, he puts it down gently in the water. He's not being rough or violent with these things, but he is also not being all that gentle. He's just methodically kind of doing the thing. And you watch as he fills up this entire big bucket full of dolphin milk.
So, all right. I'll let him finish up his thing. That's really good. What do you do now?
He says, oh, this is the hard part. You have to wait a lot. And he grabs some of the pink stuff, and he squishes it up in his hand. He's not mixing with the blue stuff. And he squeezes it up, and you watch as he just drips it in to the milk. And it says, you have to wait a long time.
What happens if you put the blue stuff in?
Mama says not to put the blue stuff in.
Do you know what happens if you do?
Nuh-uh.
But Mama thinks it's bad?
She shrugs. She told me not to do that. Maybe it doesn't make cheese.
Maybe make something better.
Hmm?
Do you think it might make something better?
I don't know.
I'm sitting on his shoulder telling you this is probably not the smartest thing that I've ever done.
Mama told me not to do that.
Okay, that's probably a good idea.
So he basically squoze this pink acidy stuff in, and you watch as the cheese begins to separate. And he says, you wait, and the cheese comes up top. The bottom is cheese water.
Wow, that's like magic.
Mama has lots of magic.
So do you.
He looks at himself. Huh?
This is like magic. You just made magic.
He seems happy at the idea of that.
Joe,
Yeah.
does Even have an idea what the pink stuff is based on it being used to make cheese? I assume he has some idea of how to make cheese. but
Yeah,
not-
yeah. Give me whatever you use, lore or crafting, whatever it is. Mendax, have a hero point for your handling of the child.
Thank you.
All right. So,
Agreed.
Yeah, make a craft or whatever it is you're doing. Oh, yeah, look at these. 20s are coming out now. Yeah, so you're very certain that it's some sort of acid, and basically the acidity of that is what separates the dairy product.
Okay.
So he does this for a while, and he picks up each of the dolphins in turn and milks them and puts them back, and they all continue their little feeding frenzy, and the water continues to rise. So is anybody doing anything?
He's not going underwater at all, is he?
No, he has not.
Okay, good. As long as he stays above water, I'm okay.
Okay. No, but he is moving around, and again, he's not being rough, but he's moving quickly and like with purpose, and just restraining the dolphins as he does what needs to be done. All right. Anybody doing anything?
Is he just filled one bucket of milk cheese? And...
Yeah, he only has the one
Pink stuff.
bucket, so I guess that's all he would do.
Okay.
I only gave him the one bucket.
Polyphemus, it looks like you need more buckets.
Hmm?
You only have one bucket to make cheese, right?
He nods.
Wouldn't it be better if you had more buckets?
Yeah, but I haven't found any.
You want us to go get you some?
You can make buckets.
No, but we know where we can get some.
Where?
From some civilizations far away from here. We can go get you some and bring them back, and then you can make lots of cheese.
Civilization?
Other cities.
What's a city?
All right, where people are, where there's lots of people.
Lots of people?
They know how to make buckets.
Oh.
I don't know how to make a bucket.
Hmm.
Actually, I probably do know how to make a bucket. That's not the point.
But he doesn't know
We
that.
made a ship.
Maybe. I know a guy made it. I know a guy that can make a ship, so I know a guy that knows a guy.
That's true.
If you got more buckets, you could make more cheese, couldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever put stuff inside your cheese?
Like what?
Something that might make it taste different? I bet Even knows some things you could hide inside a cheese that make it taste different and taste better. He's really good at these kind of things.
Fish don't taste good in cheese. He looks at you even. What tastes good in cheese?
Well, some of his fruit maybe, or some of his spices.
Some cheeses even taste better when they're rotten or moldy.
Rotten.
There are some
cheeses?
places where they grow flies in cheese, and it makes the cheese very tasty.
That sounds yucky.
It is yucky, but it's also very tasty.
Do they eat the
You know-
flies?
You eat it before the flies hatch.
It doesn't seem.
You know what? You know what I like to put in my cheese?
What?
Syrup.
What kind of syrup?
The tasty kind.
He nods as if he understands, but you see in his face that he's not completely sure. All right. So the water continues to rise, and it hits the highest point. Boop. And remember, it does stop before the top of the ceiling. So he's just basically he's swimming, kind of just floating next to you guys, and the dolphins appear to be satiated, and they are now playing in the area. What's everybody up to?
Hanging on for dear life.
Even we'll cut some fish and try to like hand feed the dolphins.
Okay. Make a nature check to see how well they respond to you, but you do have food. Yeah. They respond very well to you. It's very natural. You just throw them the food, and they seem intelligent enough to understand that you're giving them food, and they keep coming back and clicking and playing, and having a good time. You doing anything specific with them, or just feeding them?
He's just bringing them closer each time, and then like if he can make contact with one of them, make contact.
Yeah, after a few times of that, they seem comfortable enough with you, and they seem, at least, they have dealt with this Cyclops in the past, so they understand that humanoid things exist and can give them food and stuff like that. So yeah, after a couple of feedings, they're coming very close to you.
Okay.
Alright.
Puck makes his way back up into a crevasse to have a little meditate
Okay.
for 10 minutes.
Oh yes, your refocus. Yeah, go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Franco's going to keep pressing his luck with the with the idea that like when the water goes down, if you get us out, you can watch us play on the boat, and you can swim with us while we're on our boat going to the Dino Island, so that we can get you some more Dino toys.
And he looks at you and then looks at Mendax. Says, but you're gonna leave. You're gonna.
Well, we have to leave if you want more buckets, remember? And some stuff to make cheese extra tasty.
But
And-
you're
And most importantly, we're gonna get you lots and lots of Dino toys. So you won't even miss us. You're gonna you have one Dino toy right now, but you're gonna have 12 Dino toys if you go to the island, and then you can get whatever dinos you want. You can get the whole set.
toss me a. You're being completely sincere in this.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah.
toss me a
He's
diplomacy
he's
check.
like totally gonna take him to the island.
He's not Mendex, that's for sure.
Because
He's a nice guy.
let me just see, because I need to remind
Yeah,
myself.
you have performance that does other things, so yeah, figure it out.
Yeah, performance instead of diplomacy for. Well, this is for making an impression though, which I don't think this is.
I think that is
Yeah.
the thing, right?
Is it the thing?
I think make impression is the
Think
thing you
so.
use to change their. Right? Or
Yes, to
convince?
change.
Is
yeah,
that-
to change,
Does your cloak help with that also? Isn't that the specific thing?
The repute.
Is it the
Yes.
specific thing? God,
I
it's
can't
been-
re- Is it like the first impression or just when you try to do that thing?
Well, let's see. Diplomacy checks to make an impression,
Yeah, there we go.
and you can make a request of a creature with the command. So yeah, I like that.
Yes. So there's three things you can do with diplomacy. The first is the first is gather information, which doesn't apply here. Make an impression, which is how you change their attitude, and you can make multiple of those to move them multiple times. And there is an action to request, which is separate from your fancy cloak request.
Okay. All right. So anyway, I think we've determined that this is this. Debating re-rolling that because I feel like this is important enough to do
It's
it. I think
decent.
it is. It's decent,
Oh
but
no, that's a 5. Sorry, never mind. No, you can do better.
Yeah.
I think it's worth it. Let's do it.
It's better.
Yeah.
Well, you also get a +1, so that's a 20.
True.
Yeah.
with The cloak.
And it's against his will DC, right?
Oh, that was good.
What?
I remember trying to get through that.
Through what? Oh, his will
The-
DC.
the-
Will
yeah,
DC
the will DC
with
is one
command.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he seems not impressed with that. No, so you push your luck and you're talking about the dino toys, and
Put the dino costume back on.
and you see as he thinks about it for a minute and he's excited about the idea of having a lot of dino toys, but he grows more and more sullen and like, but you're gonna leave, you're gonna go home.
Well,
Yeah, that's
all friends go home. We'll come back, and maybe you can come visit us sometime.
yeah, just like your dolphin friends here, right? They don't stay in the cave the whole time. They go out and then they come back in.
He nods at that, but he seems sad. He seems that you're different to him. You've been very fun, and you're gonna go.
Polyphemus, can I tell you a secret?
He looks at you with a curious eye.
So I get real close to his ear and says, if you take us outside, we can show you a real dinosaur. Squirrel has a pet, just like we're going to show you how to get. He has a real one.
There's
You want to see a real?
There's a whole island of real ones,
Shh,
right?
shh, shh, quiet. Yeah. Don't let them hear. Yeah. Shh. We're going to show you a real dinosaur. Do you want to see a real dinosaur?
Yes.
Yeah, this one belongs to Squirrel. It's his pet. So to show you that you can make dinosaurs into pets, we'll show you this. It's his pet, so you can have ones just like him. You can see just how friendly he is and how fun he is.
And he looks at the others. I guess you're whispering, so they can't hear. But he looks at the others and he looks at Squirrel. And he says, "What tricks does that one know?"
He's a pet tamer. He can, if you ask him, he'll show you some. He'll teach you how to train dinosaurs.
He will.
Remember that when Frankko and Squirrel were doing the, playing around down here, and Squirrel's giving commands.
Mhm, mhm.
That's how. Did you remember those commands?
I think so.
Yeah,
he
that's how he
repeats
taught.
some of them half remembered.
Perfect, just like that. Yes, that's how you train the dinosaurs. You teach them those commands, and the dinosaur. You saw how the dinosaur did what Squirrel said, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can do the same thing with your pet dinosaur. Now, you've got to be careful because the dinosaurs don't swim very well. So you'll have to you'll have to put them up when the water comes in. You're gonna have to put them up on a shelf so they're safe.
Oh.
You'll have to pick up your toys, right?
And he looks back at Frankko and says, "What are they made for caves?"
The dinos in the island?
Mm-hmm.
Some of them, yeah. The first ones we met lived in a cave.
Mm.
They like caves.
But they
make
don't
that for
swim
them.
well.
They don't swim very well, so it's better to put them up when you play with your toys, to put them back up on the shelf when you're done with them. You don't want to leave them out because something bad might happen to them. You wouldn't want them to wash out to sea and get lost, would you?
Mm-mm.
No, I don't want that either. So, would you, if you take us out to the boat, would you like to see a real dinosaur?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, we will show you. Squirrel will show you his very own pet. Ask Squirrel what its name is.
He turns to Squirrel and asks, "What's your pet's name?"
Marvelous.
Raplius? That's a good name.
You could have one named Raplius too if you want. Looks like the water's just about right for us to head out, isn't it?
Yeah, the water does begin to be seeping down. So again, it's about 2 hours at each of these 10-foot levels, and it has begun going out. And almost immediately, the dolphins leave. Like as soon as the water is favorable, the dolphins begin to leave.
All right, Polyphemus, will you take us out to our boat so we can show you the dinosaur?
You said you'd stay a day.
Okay, but we won't be able to show you until we can't show you till tomorrow. Is that okay then? We'll stay with you for a day. We'll play around some more.
Okay.
All right. Since you're our friend, we'll stay an extra day just because we like you. And you've been nice to us so far, so you're going to have some good luck.
Yeah, he seems excited about that. He says, "I could be good to you in the cave, right?"
Yeah, for a day. We can do that for a day. Yeah, you've been really good to us so far. I wouldn't keep us too long though. That might, some of the other goblins might not think that's good, and so you don't want to be mad. You don't want to mean to a goblin. You might have bad luck.
If I'm not mean though, if I treat you good,
You've been very nice.
I can
But
I can be good. We can be good.
Yeah.
He looks around the cave. We could be good.
Yeah, we can be good for a day. Yeah.
Even will come over and tug on Frankko's sleeve or tug on Mendek's, whoever he can get a reach to. But will
I don't know how high I'm up. I'm probably pretty high up, aren't I?
yeah. So that was my.
Don't pull me in the
thought.
water. I'll do whatever you want. I'll do whatever you want. Ask me whatever. I'll do it.
Can you see if you can convince him to take out Lynn and the others?
I haven't mentioned them. Should we mention them?
See if he'll take them. If we're staying, see if he can take them out so our ship knows that we're still alive.
Sure. So Frankko would turn to him and say, "We'll stay for a day. I think that that's fair. But we have some other, not so much fun toys that came with us that we want you to take back out if we're going to stay. Can we make that a deal? Can you promise?"
He looks. What? Who? What? Toys? More toys?
Yeah, but they're not that much. They're not really that much fun toys. They're just regular toys. So if you bring them out, we'll stay for a little bit longer for you. I think that's fair.
Where do I have to bring them?
There's out to our ship.
Okay.
Once you get outside the cave, I think they'll see where they need to go. They'll tell you.
Please get them above the water as fast as you can. They can't swim underwater very well.
Oh.
We're not good like you are.
Oh. Okay. And he looks a little unsure of the whole situation, but
And we'll stay down here. Remember, we said we'll stay with you for an extra day so we can play. So hurry up and take them out there. Take them to the boat, and then come back as soon as you can so we can play some more.
okay. And that got him excited. That got him excited to do it. And he looks around. So you're gonna coax out the people from their crevasses?
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, I'm going to tell them to try to get me some parts for maybe a barrel, or if we have a barrel, one barrel.
There are 2 barrels floating in the water here.
That's the alcohol, though. Well, we can make those with cheese. I want to make one, so I'm going to try to make one.
Ah.
So this film that's like, oh, we need a real person, or if I can make just one, it's like, look, more cheese.
Okay.
That's the
fair
plan. I want to see them as they go to the boat. Maybe the boat can pull up, or maybe it has a crate on the boat.
enough. Sure.
One barrel. I'm sure there's a barrel on the boat somewhere that could be useful, about the right size.
Sure.
And for each of them, whatever Frankko thinks would be meaningful collateral, he would instruct them to leave.
Lynn, Vilda, and Helmet. You think
Lynn
they're gonna
probably,
abandon you?
Lynn probably not, but the other two.
Yeah. So
All knows we're sending 3 NPCs with out to
Out to our
adventure.
boat.
Good luck. Hope to see you soon. Cheers. See you later.
remember, Helmet and Vilda were the ones that wanted to get, they wanted to leave. They wanted their own boat, and look, they might have their own boat in a couple minutes.
That's what I'm saying. So
We got goblins.
they're going to leave something important.
Like what? They don't have much on them.
Tell them to inform everybody else on the
No,
boat.
it's fine.
We're
Just
gonna be
send
here
them
for
out.
one day.
Sentient Bush is still on board.
Sorry?
The sentient bush is still on
That's
board.
true. Gimbolo is up there with
Prevent a
you.
mutiny.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
There's no mood as long as Gimbolo's still alive.
That's true. Okay. Yeah, so they have nothing to leave with you, Frankko. I mean, Lynn has her
All right,
satchels
then,
and stuff, but
if Frankko knows that, then it's fine.
Okay.
Just let it
Alright.
ride.
Tell everybody else where we're at. We'll be here for another day.
All right, and
At least.
and the Seaclops will do that.
Swim fast. Swim as fast as you can so we can come back.
Sure. Oh, the Seaclops disappears, as does those three people.
People will never see again.
And
We
you
name
and
us-
you watch as he swims over to them, and he swims up to Lynn. He goes, "Hi," and Lynn looks traumatized, like she's not having a good time. But his tentacles come out of the water and just loop around all three of them, and he looks and says, "Big breath, eyes in," and he goes underwater. And you watch as he goes under first, and the tentacles kind of follow. So it's like, and, and they're gone. And you watch as the underneath again, the water has the glowing bioluminescent stuff is kind of pulsing down there. And for a while, almost all of it is occluded as he is passing it.
I hope you put me down first, by the way. It's going to be a very bad moment.
I'm gonna go with yes. But
Thank
yeah.
you.
Yeah. So he's gone for a little bit. Is anybody doing anything now that he's gone?
Yeah, we'll talk.
Yeah, we're gonna mix some blue stuff in this dolphin milk. See what happens.
Cheese fireworks. Sounds wonderful.
I even if even sees you doing that, even's just gonna say it's like lemon juice to make it curdle. I'm assuming that the blue is probably opposite, so something to make soap.
Something like a base.
Rub it between your fingers.
Oh, hey, why do we have this moment, guys? I poisoned one of the cheese wheels upstairs. Just as a reminder, should we take care of this problem real fast? Even, can you get the first cheese wheel? It's on the left side, top one. Like, the very first one he would grab would be that cheese wheel.
Like,
Could you scrape the powder off the top real quick or something? Clean it up a little bit? I don't really care about the thing. Just, we don't want to kill our new buddy here or piss him off.
Yes, the objective was to stop offending the gods.
Yeah, it might not have been my smartest move now on retrospect, but hey, I think I can't get up to the cave very quickly. But if you can take care of that, I'd be really appreciative.
Yeah, Puck will slither his way over. I mean, I'm already crevassing it up there.
There you go. Somebody, please take care of that cheese wheel. I screwed up.
Even will approach one of the blue bioluminescent plants, and he basically gets a very small amount cuts a small branch or gets something very small and then rubs it between his fingers, like this.
Yeah.
If it's a base, basically a base will turn the fat in your skin into soap,
Yep.
so it'll get slippery.
Yep.
So that's what happens.
Yes, that's what's happening. Correct.
Yeah. We can make soap with this.
All right, there we go. Soap.
So it's not gonna mangle. It'll wreck the cheese, but it won't do anything strange. I don't
But
think.
as Puck is aware that if you combine the pink and the blue, something weird happens and it begins to what is it? Not mercury. What's the word? Magnesium. It burns white hot like magnesium briefly, and kind of burns not like an acid, but like a contact burn that'll continue burning for a little bit.
You want to take a little bit and try it?
Yeah, I would say we're not gonna just dump indiscriminately into the bucket or anything, but we'll take a sample and do some science here on a flat rock or something. Just observe the reaction.
So you're adding it to the cheese, the milk you made.
Is there undisturbed dolphin milk, or has it all been mixed at this point?
It has all been mixed. You get the one bucket, and then you squoze into it.
So we'll take a ladle of that, put it in
Yeah.
a container, and add some blue stuff.
You add some blue stuff, and the cheese not sizzles but bubbles for a moment, and then becomes oddly stable again, and you can see like bubbles suspended inside of the cheese.
What's it? I touch it.
It does not explode upon touch.
Wait for even to eat it. That's not sure.
Well, yeah. What is the texture of this new substance?
It is not
just like a spongy, like cheese type.
Well, yeah. So basically, the cheese is separating in this bucket, and you've taken a ladle of the stuff at the top, and you are now adding some stuff to it. So yeah. So it wasn't hardened yet already. It was still like wet. But yeah, as you did it, it kind of becomes more liquidy. It's not like standing as much as it was before, and it is a bit spongy. Yeah. And you feel like you could spread it.
Cheese whiz.
We've invented cheese whiz. This is incredible.
So you're gonna do gastronomic stuff and play around with it, spread it, smell it, and even put it in his mouth.
You're pretty certain playing around with it that you do not want to eat this, and you do believe that, similar to the reaction Puck had done before, that this is maybe a more stable compound of that. But you think eating this would probably burn you up real good.
What do we do about the alcohol in him? Compared to the size of food he ate, this probably is not enough alcohol to get him drunk, is it?
It would be a shame to waste it.
I'm just looking at desperation situations, and I got a question. I got a game mechanics question for you, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Filling up a stein of beer. Is this pour, instant fill, pour, instant fill, pour?
Oh, because you have that dwarf's thing. I forgot all about.
If it comes to it, I have it. Yeah, if it comes to it, looking for alcohol, he's going to need about, I don't know how many times more than us.
Didn't it say something? Well, also he's a child.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was gonna be Evan's statement. Is how much did it take to get you to go to sleep the first time you drank? It's not gonna be, if he's a child, it's not gonna be much.
Still, he's huge though. He's a very large creature.
It's impossible to transfer the ale to another container, but it fills up immediately when you drink it. So if you gave him the cup, he could drink out of it indefinitely. But if you're pouring it into something,
is this drink, or have to turn?
It's
like one of those bad bars where I hold his head back and I just keep pouring alcohol down his throat. Then I shake his head really hard.
It's always filled to the brim, no matter how much is drunk or spilled.
Oh, so
if it is emptied, such as being gulped quickly or upended on the floor, the bottom of the stein will fill again within one round, as long as it's right side up. So I think it's not an infinite pour.
It's not an infinite pour. Okay, so it could be the ding, 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 and I fill his mouth. The ding, 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 ding. Okay.
You could.
So I can't pour in another container. I didn't. Okay.
So Frankko will pull out his flute and basically be like, I mean, I know some lullabies. Can anybody do some white noise?
What was our fairy friend, pixie friend's name?
Akaleeta?
Yeah,
Akaleeta?
Yeah.
Akaleeta?
I
need to have words with him.
Even will call out to see when he sees the flute. And Evan's like, Akaleeta, are you here?
There is no response.
Frankko will do the same thing.
This message, is this like... Wait, what am I reading?
It goes 120 feet.
120 feet. Yes, no, that does not...
Okay.
Yeah, does not work.
Ooh, that's a lot of space underwater.
Mm-hmm.
Mendix is not pleased.
Yeah, you guys were sucked down into this vortex moving very fast, and you're not sure how far away, like how far the distance was that you traveled, and it also kind of was worming through tubes and stuff, submerged tubes. But yes, the spell does not seem to work. Or he chooses not to respond.
So, upon resolving the cheese poison, Puck will kind of just slither his way over and start healing the rest of the party.
Okay. Yeah, you've got time. You can heal everybody to full.
I think you two try to convince him. And if he won't be convinced, then maybe we get him drunk and we can tie one of the dolphins to pull us out?
Oh, good thought.
I think there's maybe one other person who we could try to get to convince them. Usually the ones that the children listen to, and Franco will sort of move over to the water, and using his ring will start to speak in is it celestial? Is that what you would expect gods to speak? Like, I guess what's her name?
Goes right.
Yeah, it goes right.
Yes, celestial is good. Yeah, or the ancient Greek is also sort of related to that, but yes, you can go celestial.
Yeah, and he'll basically be like, we brought back the amulet. We did our part, but we don't belong here. We need you to tell our son that we don't belong here.
There is no response.
It's almost like the gods are ignoring the mortals for some reason.
Well, I mean, Franco never said for her to say anything to the party.
Franco.
There.
Fair enough.
Franco.
Yeah.
Even will reach into the basket he's got and pull out a wriggly fish and hand it to you.
Talk to the fish.
There's an order to it, isn't there? You make a sacrifice, you make the request.
Try
Yeah.
talking to the fish first before you sacrifice it. Let's not piss her off and start killing her minions. I don't know. Outside
What-
shot first.
What if it talks back to me? Then how do I kill it?
That's your
Goes in,
problem,
guts
not
come
ours.
out. I can get you one fish. Knife goes in, guts come out.
I don't want to know. So Franco will nod basically at Even and say, I'll say it again, you handle the gutting. And so he'll just basically say the same thing. Where were my manners? I need to speak more in a way that you can hear. And he'll wait for the blood to be spilled and then basically say the same thing. We've delivered the amulet, we mean no harm, but we don't belong here. Please help convince your son that we don't belong here.
Toss me a religion check.
Whoops.
I assume private? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's more fun. Good call.
Not that I can re-roll it anyway, but at least this way I don't know how bad I did. Did you get that?
I did, thank you.
Didn't make the roll sound, so.
Yep, that was weird. Yeah, it usually does make it when it's silent. But, yeah, so there is still no response, but you have gutted a fish and made your little prayer to Gosrai. Anybody want to do anything else?
Puck will step down and approach Franco and say, "You have sacrificed a creature of the sea before we gave a creature of the land."
Do you see any land creatures I could use instead?
Puck shrugs.
For a half second there, I thought Puck was going to be upset because they didn't sacrifice to the great outer ones or whatever to the hare. You didn't sacrifice.
My hair is above
first.
such petty gestures.
Oh, thank goodness.
This would be the perfect time for you to reach into your pet cache and pull out a squirrel.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
Oh, you can always
Like,
sacrifice
once again-
a squirrel.
It's just a constant mistake getting rid of pet cash.
All right. Is anybody doing anything else before he comes back?
If it doesn't work, we get him drunk. Is that our thing? So we should start getting him drunk just before the water peaks at the top, and then as the water's starting to go out, then we, or just I guess before the water hits the top, get him drunk, and then try to grab the dolphins and ride them out. Is that if we have to come to that plan?
If we have to.
All right.
Yeah.
Code word: cherry tree. If we hit cherry tree, if it gets bad, we'll yell cherry tree, cherry tree, cherry tree. If that is our plan when we have to get him drunk.
All right. And he splooshes back up. Sploosh. And
Does he happen to have anything in his arms?
yeah, I forgot, but yes. He has a bucket. and an empty barrel in two tentacles. He's like a small bucket, like a human-sized bucket. His was much larger, and he has a barrel.
Okay.
Did you find our ship?
They were waiting.
Good.
Was it broken?
Mm-mm.
Hmm.
All right. I look up to him and go, up, up.
And he puts it almost like a fist bump, but he lowers it into the water in front of you as if you can climb up his arm.
No, up, up, up. Pick me up.
Okay. And so he does. He picks you up, and
Bucket,
he
bucket.
shows you with the tentacle, like he has a barrel and a bucket.
Do they look like they're possibly cheesemakers out of these barrels and buckets?
Yeah, the one bucket is really small. Like they just gave him a bucket because he was talking about buckets. But the barrel, yeah, you think you could turn this barrel into maybe 2 buckets if you sawed it in half and did some stuff. But yeah.
I guess I don't know you for the next hour.
You're sawing a barrel in half.
I sawed a barrel in half.
Okay. Okay. And so he seems mostly excited to hear more about dinosaurs and whatever else Frankko wants to talk about with his play. He's very interested in you. He's captivated by your performances.
Frankko would basically just tell him, like, for a little bit, we can do pretend, and you just tell me what you want the dino to do, and I'll do it as the dino.
Okay. He thoroughly enjoys that. And I don't have anything offhand. We don't have to go back and forth on it. But yeah, but he does order you around a bit, and some of it's very silly. And he also does ask, like, what do dinosaurs do? Like, does a dinosaur do this? And it's something that a dinosaur would never do. Do dinosaurs wear clothes? And he asks you, like, all these questions back and forth, and he's learning a lot about dinosaurs.
Most dinosaurs don't wear clothes, but if you had a pet or a toy, you could always put clothes on the dino.
Yeah, he seems super pumped about this dinosaur island idea where he can have a lot of dinosaur toys. All right, so the water goes back down all the way to the bottom. I can mash that button a couple times. Boop. Boop. Click on somebody to see. And now it's fairly dry, and he seems to be getting unhappy and cranky because it's no longer full of water. And he's kind of, you watch as he always moves to where the water is, essentially. As it recedes and recedes, he's getting closer and closer to the pool. What are you doing, Naz?
I whisper in here, are you tired? When do you sleep?
He nods.
Yeah, you tired? I'm tired
Yawns.
too.
It's been so exciting, though.
It has, but I need to sleep too. So do you?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think it's time for us to go to sleep for the night, and then we'll be here in the morning, obviously, and we can do some more fun. That way, it'll be all rejuvenated and have lots of energy.
Okay.
All right. Did you eat enough for dinner tonight?
And he points at the thing that had all the fruit cobbler in it.
Okay. When you wake up in the morning, Even will have you a big, tasty breakfast.
Oh, he seems excited.
Yeah. So make sure you sleep all night and get a good night's sleep.
Okay.
No waking up until the orb comes on.
Yeah, so he watches, he kind of moves over to the corner, and he submerges himself, and his tentacles kind of shoot out and grab crevasses, and he kind of just floats there in the water, and his head begins, like, lolling, and, oh, are you lullabying?
Why not?
Help the process. See if it works.
Are you using magic, or are you using just a song?
No, just no magic. Just a regular.
Yeah. Yeah, you play
So
a
it seems as though he's breathing oxygen while the whole time he's above
yes,
water.
he seemed to have no problem swimming, but he was breathing oxygen when dealing with you. Yes. Okay. So he begins going to sleep, and the lullaby is very good, and he
very good.
Quickly, you watch as his head goes down a couple times, and he keeps looking back up at all of you. Like when he starts to go to sleep, and you get a little excited that he's asleep, he just snaps up a bit, but eventually he does fall fully asleep.
So while he's asleep, and I guess before it's bedtime for the rest of the crew, Frankko would go over to the ballista. Is that what this be called?
Yes,
This thing?
and it's up here actually. I know the map is a little weird because there's two of them. He's kind of messed up.
Oh, right.
Yeah, you moved it and I couldn't fix it for some reason.
Yeah, so he'll go up there, and unless anybody objects, basically he'll just start taking it apart. Mostly as like a thinking it's a gesture of goodwill that he's, if the gods see it, like this thing's only going to be in here to hurt this giant, so he's just going to
Just push it right out the front, let it slam on the ground.
Well, no, because you don't wake up the giant.
Didn't he smash it?
Yeah.
I think he smashed it to tiny pieces.
He hit it with a rock. He did.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure that.
Fair
I'm
enough.
pretty sure I remember that happening. Yeah,
He did. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's better it than us.
Yeah, you do believe that you could probably repair it again, but it would need more work than last time. But yes.
No, the idea isn't to repair. It was
Okay.
to take apart. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, so you get up there and take a look at it, and you can tell because I think you jumped out like very shortly after that happened. So you get up there and do confirm that like his rock landed true, and it missed both of you, but it did smash the ballista pretty good.
Here's my barrel check for you.
Yeah, you get a craft. Yeah, you can cut a barrel in half. Yeah, so you look around and you are fortunate enough to find there is a saw in one of these boxes that fell off the boat.
I got it. I got weapons or whatever I can chop with, slice with too.
Yeah, but you do a very good job, like way above passable, of like turning this barrel into 2 buckets. All right. Anybody else doing anything during the sleeping? No. All right. And you watch as again the cycle begins repeating. So it's like a 6-hour fill up, a 6-hour drain, 6-hour fill up, 6-hour drain. And so you've been through one full cycle, and then he went to sleep. And as he's sleeping, the water begins to rise a bit. And by the time he wakes up, it's 2 up like that. Gotta hit twice. Yeah, there you go. And he's awake. And this is the morning cycle when you guys first came in here, and there is some fish in the thing, but not a whole lot of fish. And he is now awake, and he swims back over to his friends. And I assume you're all sleeping in crevasses. So, I don't know how to tell who would wake up first. I'm just going to flip a coin to see if he wakes up.
Hopefully he's the one supposed to be making breakfast,
I
right?
was say, one of you's making breakfast, and I assume you have a watch, I should say first. I assume you're not all sleeping at the same time. Is that true?
I don't know what's going to attack us. Him? If anything's going to attack us, he's going to take care of him. I'm not too concerned, to be honest. This might be.
I feel pretty safe in the secret
For some
cave
reason, I
with
do
the
not feel
octopus
like I need-
monster.
I don't feel like we need
Agreed.
to watch.
Okay.
Agreed.
All right. Yeah, so everybody gets a full night's sleep. Nothing
All right.
terrible happens at night. And he wakes up, and I'm going to flip a coin to see if he wakes up before anybody else. He does not. So even you are awake, and you are making breakfast when he yawns almost a roar and begins swimming, lurching forward towards you. And he picks up a fish out of the water as he's swimming, just snatches it and throws it into his mouth. And he begins smelling your delicious cooking again. What are you making? You're muted.
Muted.
You're muted.
Am I still muted?
No.
Even has combined a lot of the fish that he basically caught yesterday into a stew of some kind, and is stewing it and making it spicy and interesting, and is going to feed the guys and then offer the rest to Polyphemus.
Okay. He looks at it. That looks good. Can I help?
Sure.
Catch fish.
Do you know much about sea spices?
No.
So even basically will let him help the way you'd let a toddler help in the kitchen. Like, hey, can you get that for me? Oh, thank you so much, kind of thing, but much more gruff. Thank you. Thanks. And he's got him doing sort of menial tasks to help. And as he's doing it, he's explaining things like different put in one of the write-ups about like sea onions and stuff like that, like different things you can use to spice stuff that's underwater. And he's adding it to the thing and showing it, telling him where it grows and that sort of stuff, so that like if you wanted to get some of this to do your own cooking, you could do that. You could add this to your cheese.
Yeah,
Then like giving him pieces to taste.
Yeah, he seems super excited about all that. As you're describing some of the things in the water, he's, I know what that is. Like, you're describing like sea onions and stuff. He's like, oh yeah, I've seen those. I know where those are. And he seems really excited. And he watches as you add just like a pinch of a spice, and then he picks up his own hand, which is massive by comparison. And you see him doing the gesture, and he just can't imagine having like that fine control to put that much spice into, because you got a cauldron and you're not over spicing, you're being judicious about it, and he's just like, that would not work. But he's watching, he does help. And let's have some fun here. Is crafting even on here? Oh yeah, passable helping in the kitchen.
Very nice.
Nice, I like it.
He can open all the jars for you.
All right. So yeah, so you make a breakfast even. Oh dear.
Ooh.
Oh dear. His helping gives you a +2 though, and so you're lucky.
Okay, it's passable. Fine.
You now have an average breakfast instead of a shitty one.
Yeah, well, compared to just eating cheese, anything's gonna taste. If cheese and fish, this will taste anything better.
It's true. It's a little too spicy for him as a young Seaclops. But he does eat it, and he seems excited to be eating it with you. And since Even gave it to everybody else first, he's also excited to fit in as you're all eating it and seem to be enjoying it. You see as he's putting on a brave face, but every once in a while when he takes a bite, it's too spicy for him.
The cheese, Polyphemus.
Hmm?
A bite of cheese puts out spice.
Okay, and you watch as he goes over to his cheese area where there was once a poisoned cheese. He grabs the one exactly Mendax thought he would. And he grabs a couple of them, but including that one. And he brings them all over, and he offers them to everybody. And he looks at Frank and says, sharing is caring.
Aww.
Let's make sure to take the problematic one just in case.
What, trust Puck? Are you crazy?
I didn't have to roll anything to remove poison from the cheese, so
If we're gonna have to eat it, there's a roll coming. So.
yeah.
I thought Puck went up there and took it away.
I
Cleaned it up. I don't read it.
off, I thought.
Yeah,
well,
I was
okay, so-
instructed to go remove the outer layer.
Even would eat it without thinking. So
Ooh, kind of spicy. Excellent. Good flavor.
Yeah, I don't even know what kind of check you would roll to remove poison from a cheese. I don't even know that. But yeah, so okay, he brought over all the cheese. Let's look at your skills, Puck. What makes sense for this? You're good at medicine. I might just give you medicine, unless you have anybody.
That's kind of you. Let's go with medicine.
Let's go with medicine. Let's go with what poison is via medicine. Yes. So Puck, you feel pretty confident as he walks over. One of you peeked around, and you definitely saw he did grab the one you all talked about. He definitely has that among like the 4 he brought over.
Yeah.
So confident, but not completely. We will take that cheese as the goblin cheese. So Puck will take that and portion it.
I'll eat the bottom of the cheese, not the top of the cheese.
Yeah.
All right. So
I'm assuming I'm riding on his shoulder again.
yeah.
Up, back on top.
Yep. Yeah. He picks you up. And yeah, so he dishes out the cheese, and Puck eagerly grabs the one he thinks is the one. And everybody eats cheese. Yeah, and he greedily shoves one into his mouth after you told him that it helps with the spice. He was very quick to do that after everybody else took a piece. And you could see just this face of relief that like he was turning a bit red. And he's calming down a bit now. And Puck, yes, your confidence was not ill-advised, and you do not die from being cheated.
today.
Huzzah.
All right. and my hero point alarm went off. So, Frankko, I want to give you a hero point for all of your chicanery and your.
How about the 2 natural 20s on performance?
Also,
alone?
yes.
Yeah,
also-
the dinosaur performance, impeccable dinosaur performance.
Absolutely.
Definitely changed the course of
Oscar-worthy.
the sheet. So yes, please take
Cool,
another hero
thanks.
point as I reset my timer. I now have a thing that plays like a trumpet fanfare music, and I forgot what it was. Like it was playing while Chris was talking, and I was like, "What the fuck was that?" I'm like, "Oh right, I have to give a hero point." All right, so take a hero point.
Thanks.
Pretty good tonight. We took an enemy that was hostile straight to ultra friendly.
Yeah. Well, he's also afraid because he's in trouble, and you're telling him things he has to do.
This is Dad and D. We're used to diffusing tantrums. Hostile to friendly is
And
what we do on
High school
the
teacher
daily.
ID.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys are eating, and he looks to you, Mendax, on his shoulder, and he says, "I think Mommy talked to me last night.
Did she? What did she say?
She said you were right, that I have to be good to the luck goblins."
That's good advice. Mommy's smart. You're smart too.
He nods, but he looks really sad. He says, I know you're going away. She told
But
me you're
that
going
mean,
away.
but you know we're gonna come back.
I don't know.
That'll just make it more exciting when we come back next time, and we're gonna bring gifts.
You can see that he's trying to be happy about that, but he's sad. He's like, I don't know that you're coming back.
I'll give his big head a hug. We'll be back.
You're gonna hug his big head.
Probably get about halfway around his head as I can.
He's like
Maybe-
16 feet tall, so his
I'm
head
just looking at
might very well be like 3 feet tall. Might be a goblin-sized head.
About good goblin hug. I'll give his big head a hug.
Yeah.
And we made you a promise. Where we're going, the Dino Island's on our way. So, like we said, if you want to come with us to the Dino Island, we'll show you. So it won't be so bad. Plus, I wrote you a little rhyme about it.
Oh?
Do you want to hear a rhyme?
Yes.
So Frankko will pull out the puppet and go.
The dinosaur one. Yeah.
The dinosaur puppet this time. Make sure it's the dinosaur.
It's the dinosaur one. He goes, "It'll be magical when the Dino Island's reached. So nice like a tickle on a Sunday beach."
If I didn't just give you one, I would have given you it for that. So there you go. You have it.
That was awesome.
Terrible.
Ugh. You got to mine those children for gold for these sessions. That's where it's at. All right. Yeah, so he seems very happy. He loves the puppet. He loves the rhyme. He's super excited. And you've got him a bit happier about the situation. He understands that he has to do this. You told him, Mommy told him last night, and he understands. So the water continues to fill up. And during this first cycle, the dolphins don't come back. And the water begins to go down. And the whole time he's watching Frankko do all of his jokes and plays and stuff like that. But you can tell as the water begins to reach the top and all the down cycle starts, he's beginning feeling a little sullen, but he seems to acknowledge it.
How many hours until the next cycle?
It'd be 6 down and then 6 up and 6 down again.
So I'm guessing in 12 hours from now, that's when the dolphin call is, when the dolphins show up.
Yes.
That'll be roughly evening, I'm guessing. It's about
Yes.
evening was the night before. Okay.
Correct.
Is that where we're gonna stay till? I'm asking the team this one now.
Fine.
Or do we go? Don't upset.
I think that's let's.
Keep him happy as long as we can.
I think with the dolphins is good. He's used to like friends leaving at that point.
Yeah, we'll just go with the,
That's a
the
time.
dolphins.
It's part of his routine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the dad logic applying. Okay. So yeah, I won't belabor the point anymore. He has accepted it, and if you were waiting for that, he will gladly play with you for the rest of the day. And when it comes time, again, same thing goes back down, water comes back up, lots of fish fill the room, and the dolphins come back. And he's super excited to play with the dolphins, and he milks, I guess, once, I don't know how long it takes cheese to set, or whatever it is. Is it more than a day?
Either way, I've given him 2 new buckets.
Oh,
so
true, yeah. So
he
yeah,
has 3
if-
buckets now. I've given him
There
his
you go.
buckets. We told him we'd give him gifts.
There you go. Yeah, so that's right. So he's super excited, like because the other one is still setting up there. He can't make more cheese yet, but now he can make more cheese. And he looks. If I have more cheese, I can wait for it to get older.
And you can get some. You can get some new. Sprinkle some onions in this one this time.
And he said, even gave me some spices. And he takes out. He's got this like tiny vial in his hand. He even gave me some spices. He says this one is good in cheese.
Even would know he's the amazing cook.
I loved everything he made. I wish I could have fruit down here.
You want us to bring you fruit next time we come and visit?
All
right, we'll do that. Is there anything else you want us to bring you when we come back next time?
I don't know. He seems excited, like he doesn't even
You
know
want
what
some
to
more?
ask for.
You want some surprises? We can bring you
Yes.
surprises.
I love surprises.
Also, one more thing. There are some bad people out there we got to warn you about.
Oh?
Yeah, if you see anybody wearing, there's a couple of us are wearing the cloaks, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even
So,
though.
so we
Even
should
so.
warn about the cloaks, right?
Yeah,
I'm
who's
assuming
wearing
we should.
clothes?
I think I have a cloak, but I have a base. No, I kept the warm weather gear. I didn't grab a cloak.
Yeah, I think Even's the only one wearing a cloak. I think.
If a whole bunch of people show up wearing these cloaks, they're not our friends. They're not your friends either. They're going to try to hurt you.
Why?
They're bad people. If you see a whole bunch of people show up with just these cloaks on, they're not your friends. You need to, don't worry about trying to be nice to them. You can go ahead and destroy them.
Why don't they like me?
They don't like anybody. They're bad people. They try to hurt everybody.
Seek a power of which they are not worthy.
And again, his tentacles slap in the water as he pushes against the wall with Mendax on his shoulder. And he's terrified. He's terrified.
Woohoo! I hung on.
That's a
Yeah,
pretty rope,
you gotta watch. See those? They all show up with those cloaks. They're not nice people. They're gonna try to hurt you. That's why, because we're your friends. We're telling you about these people. If a whole bunch of them show up, don't believe them. They lie. They tell you terrible things, and they're gonna try to hurt you. And they're not testing you. They're really trying to hurt you. They're not like
That's
we.
still laughing, not the Cyclops. All right. Yeah. So he's terrified between that and what Puck was saying. Yeah, he is very much afraid of these people now.
Yeah. If you ever see them with that cloak, then you have permission. You can go ahead and hurt them. Mommy would be very proud of you if you hurt them.
Oh, Mommy doesn't like them.
Yeah. Mommy does not like them either.
Oh,
They've hurt Mommy's friends.
they hurt Mommy's friends.
Yeah, bad people.
Oh, that's not good.
No.
Does
it's
Mommy
not.
know?
Oh, she knows.
Oh.
So yeah, we're doing what we can to tell all the people who's Mommy's friends that they need to be careful, including you.
Okay. Thanks for telling me.
Yeah. Well, that's what friends do.
He looks at Even's cloak some more and asks, "Why is he wearing that then?"
It's a prize to show them that we don't deal with their people. He took it as a prize from them, so that they will know that we will not put up with their badness.
Did you hurt them?
Yes.
Yes, we hurt several of them.
Oh.
You saw it. We're good warriors.
Did they try to hurt you?
Yes.
They did.
Oh. Who hurt who first?
They hurt us first.
First, they hurt one of your Mommy's friends
Oh.
really badly, and they hurt his pet too.
He had a pet?
He had a pet
A dino?
dinosaur. What was the term there, Nas? It was a flying.
Majestic
flying
flying
lizard
Yes.
Flying giraffe, lizard, or whatever, yeah.
That's what it was.
And he
Yeah,
seems really sad that these things hurt a dino. That's not
Yeah.
nice. I would never hurt a dino.
No, these things. That's why they're bad people. So we want you to stay safe.
Oh.
If you ever see them, you can go ahead and hurt them, and make us and Mommy very proud of you.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah, we know you can. You're a great warrior, and a good person.
He seems happy that you would say that. The thing begins filling with water again, and begins filling with lots and lots of fish, and eventually there are dolphins again. Down here, but... And yeah, so he begins milking the dolphins in his new buckets, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, so he does that. Anybody do anything else before it's time to go? Seaclops will take you out.
Can we get some milk and try to make some of this more horrid paste again?
Yeah, how are you gonna get it out?
The milk or
The milk.
ask him to give us some.
Well, he'll give you some if you ask, but like you're gonna put it like in one of the casks or something. Like how are you gonna get it? It's gonna go underwater to get out of here.
Yeah, I don't know how to get it out. I guess.
Could be an issue.
I guess maybe even we'll take a sample of the plants, and then just be prepared to do that when we get up.
I mean, you could drink that whole bottle of that cask of Kasama there and fill it with milk when you're done.
That's true.
All right. So yeah, if you can figure out a way to get milk, he will definitely give you some. You've shared a lot of food with him. You'll share what he has with you. You can take some cheese if you like. But yeah, time passes and the water begins draining, and you can tell that he's getting sadder and sadder as he knows the time is coming, and like he keeps looking at the wall, and the lines on the wall are essentially a clock to him, and he can tell that it's time to go now. And the dolphins leave, and he sighs and looks at you and says, "Time to go then."
Yes, it's time.
Okay, and he's gonna grab each of you with a tentacle. And do you want to take anything else with you? You want the casks?
I mean, if he's offering, sure.
I mean, yeah, whatever you wanted to do.
Yeah.
Used to be on it was on our boat already.
Yeah, those are
Yeah,
from
I
your
guess
boat.
we don't care about the wine, correct?
Not as wine.
Okay, I guess I'll take horrible milk. I'll pour out the wine and take horrible milk in there then.
Okay, yeah. He's really happy. He's happy to see you do it. But, like, before he squeezes anything into it, you're just taking the milk?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. So, yeah, he's fine with you taking a barrel of milk and you put it on your sheet.
Barrel of dolphin milk. Yeah.
yeah, he's putting
Oh,
that
these-
horrible milk.
Yeah, these character sheets are getting weird. I've got a rock made of flesh, and barrel of dolphin milk.
You and your even sheets are gold mines. Like ever since Evelyn put a ramshackle ass net on his, it's been pretty.
Just full of hair and hair products, and then flesh rock. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, he grabs you and anything you want, and he goes underwater and takes you. And
Hope we got that one. I hope we got that 3, 2, 1 countdown. Hold your breath.
Oh, yeah. Big
Puck,
breath I did.
Puck, please revive me when we get to the surface.
Yeah, that was a problem for you. You blacked out on the way down.
I did. I blacked out. I didn't lose hit points like the other two NPCs, but I certainly didn't have a good time.
Correct. Yeah.
Hopefully, this is a quicker trip.
Yes, he is much quicker and knows where he's going, and you're not being bounced around nearly as much. And yeah, so he takes you back up, and you are back at the Corsair. That's not the one I want to go, right? This one. Activate. Oh. Guess I should stop the music. So he takes you back up, and G-Pain and Gimbolo and everybody, they're all here. And they were waiting for you, very close. Like they got away of the vortex, so they weren't being sucked in every couple of minutes, every couple of hours. But yeah, they were waiting nearby. They anchored nearby and were waiting. And you find everybody up there, including the NPCs you left.
Oh, they lived.
Everybody lived.
All right, one last time before he goes, I stick my arms out and say, "Up, up." So he puts me on the shoulder and he gives his head one more big hug.
Aww.
And it's like, oh, we're good friends. We'll come back and see you.
Are we going to the dinosaur island?
You coming with us?
I thought
Can
Frankko
you
said
come
he
that
could go.
What's that?
I thought Frankko said you would take him to the dinosaur island.
Yeah, we will.
It's on the
Yeah,
way.
totally.
It's not on the
Yeah.
way, is it?
It's close
Vaguely
enough.
on the way. We went the wrong way, so it's vaguely on the way.
It's due south almost.
It's south.
I know exactly where we were. I couldn't
Yeah,
change
yeah.
the course, but I knew where we were.
Yes.
And I assume he could probably also accelerate our trip to said Dino Island. So
now you're hooking
if
with
he's-
gas.
We
If
got
he's
a
willing-
motor.
if he's willing to take us south, then that's worth it.
Oh, yeah, that's not that bad.
All right, you're gonna take him back to Dinosaur Island.
Yeah,
Hmm.
All right.
definitely.
Yeah. And yeah, he's happy to be with you and to he's more than willing to help you sail in the direction you want to go. So yeah, so basically you have a big octopus boy just behind your ship.
Well, he also gets to see Raplius.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. He's excited to see Raplius. And you did promise to show him the dinosaur, and Squirrel
Did?
will reluctantly. Everything about Squirrel in my mind is reluctant.
Straight 10, not very
Well,
strong.
well. So no,
That's
hold on,
weird.
because I had a plan for Squirrel too.
Oh, okay.
So Franco's idea was not to have the octopus in the back, but to have the octopus in the front to
Ah.
try out the new
Ah.
harness
Look at
kit
that. Look at
that
that.
to warm what's it Squirrel up to this idea.
Okay. Yeah.
So like, hey, you want to try out the contraption we made before this whole shindig?
Well, Squirrel would be interested in it. How are you gonna
Yeah.
the Octopus Boy?
It'll get us to the Dino Island.
Yeah, right. And so how does this
Like
harness
basically,
work
like,
on the child?
well, I mean, similar to how it would work on the turtle, right? You put it around his shoulder, you tug the direction you want him to go,
Okay.
right? So he'd be like, we've got this cool to the octopus. He'd be like, we got this cool toy for you. You put it on, and my friend here is going to tug, and then you just try to go the direction he tugs. Do you think you can do that?
Uh-huh.
So you swim as fast as you can, and he's going to tug, and you'll just go that way.
Okay, and we'll see dinosaurs?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We're going to lead you, we're going to tug so that you go to the dinosaur island, and we'll show you where it is when we get there.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
and then Franco will just pat Squirrel on the back and kind of nod knowingly at him, smirking. I wish Will were here for this.
Yeah. All right. So, who made the thing? Was it Will that made the thing? Squirrel made the harness thing, or have you been helping him, or who's been making?
It was the two of us together.
All right. So, you can make a secret or whatever GM private whatever it is craft check, and I'll make one for Will. Roll mode, private GM roll, blind GM roll. Apologies, blind GM roll. All right.
Any chance I can make this a theater lore roll? Could this be like similar to the harnesses that he built for people when they were going
yeah,
in the air? And
yes. I love using lore. I'm pro lore.
Considering that crafting is a 0 for me, it's probably going to help.
Sure, yeah, that's fine. That's amazing. That's fantastic. Yeah, so between the two of you, you've created something that you believe will work, and Squirrel has tested it thoroughly after having several things snap on several goblins. He's tested it thoroughly and believes it's not going to break immediately upon use. And you put the harness around, you make some minor modifications to put it around a Octopus Boy's shoulders. And yeah, and he is willing to do it. So yeah, he begins dragging the boat, and you're taking just straight to Savras?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And it's not showing me the predicted length anymore. That mod broke or something. Yeah, so he's taking you right there, and the weather is perfect for sailing, and he is speeding you along, so we don't even need to make checks. You're basically critically succeeding every day, and it only takes you 2 days to get back to Savras with his help. Anybody doing anything interesting along the way?
I do have something.
What?
Is Akaleeta on the boat?
No. Well, you haven't seen him.
I try to call. I call to him the best I can. In the meantime, what I'm also doing though during that time is I grab a small piece of cloth, wrap it up, put little strings on the end of this thing I'm wrapping up, which I'll tell you about in just a moment. But right now I'm making something. I'll explain when I get to that part. But so I call him around after I've tied this little gift up, and then I'm looking for Akaleeta.
Okay. You made your little gift, and you walk around looking for Akaleeta. You call out to her.
Calling him and everything.
Yep, and he does not respond. But again,
Okay.
he's always been evasive. He's always been invisible, except when he needs to be talking to you.
Well, I'll tell him that I have something for him. I have something for you as I continue going around.
Toss me your diplomacy check. See if you
I can do that.
charm them.
Doing this all the wrong way.
Okay, yeah.
Ding,
Okay.
ding, 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 ding.
Can't argue with that. Hi, Akaleeta here.
Hey, Akaleeta, I got a gift for you. Would you
Oh,
like the
and
gift?
he's
Yeah.
again really excited. He's like poofs into existence next to you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, real quick. Do you think you can fix my feet for me?
What? And he looks. Oh.
Yeah, that was pretty funny for a while, but it's kind of old now. But I did. That was a good one. But in my gift for you is a surprise too, and you're gonna like this trick.
Gift first.
No, no, no. Friends,
Mm. I gotta know it's worth it. And he looks at this is pretty funny.
It was funny, but it's old now.
Mm.
Can you maybe just turn one foot around, get the gift, and then turn the other one
Franco,
around?
go away, Franco.
Two left feet? Yeah? You want two left feet?
No, I want my feet normal. And then I'll give you the gift.
Okay. Because again, you rolled a 20 on your diplomacy check. Okay,
I hope
okay,
so.
okay. We got off on the wrong foot, but we're better now.
That's a bad joke, but that's funny actually.
That was your joke.
All right. So it's like, all right. My feet are all better. It's like, okay, here's my
Yes,
gift. back.
he snaps and they come back. I guess he has to use his dust, actually. Apologies.
He's this dust, whatever.
Yeah, he
he's
takes out,
fine.
he opens
All
the
right.
sack and throws dust on your shoes, and your feet are fixed.
He opens it up.
Yeah.
If he wants to open it up, I'll tell you what it is.
I do. He will open it up. He's excited. What is it?
It's my lesser smoke stick.
Oh, you gave him a lesser smoke stick. Ooh, and he looks around at it. He says,
Oh,
"What is-"
careful. If you break that, it makes a lot of smoke. You can be funny. You
Oh,
put it in the right place.
okay.
You can make lots of smoke, and it's pretty funny when people start coughing on it and everything, and they can't see and everything.
That does sound
I
funny.
figured
He,
you- I figured you
he
would
shakes
really-
it a bit, but then you
Well, not too hard, not too hard.
Okay.
I figured you would like that, and since you're my friend, I figured I'd give it to you.
Thanks. And you see him. He puts it on his belt, and he's excited to have it. And I'll put it in his inventory.
I'm deleting off mine now. I got my feet back though.
Awesome. That's fun. All right. Anybody doing anything else while you sail to Savras? Oh, all right. Add that to a sheet. So-
Standard gathering fish.
Sure. Toss me whatever it is,
Sure.
survival check.
You've got one of the greatest fish catchers ever in front of the boat. He could just be throwing
Just
them onto the
opens his
boat.
mouth.
Just throw him over his head onto the boat. He can have stacks of fish for a mile deep. Just throwing it overhead as he's going swimming full speed.
But yeah, tons of fish.
Oh yeah, lots of fish. Fish for everybody. Okay. So yeah, you guys get to Savras within 2 days, no problem. And he looks up at this big fang of an island. He says, "Is this where the dinos are?"
That's where Raplius is from here.
Oh, and he looks back at Raplius on the boat.
But he's now our friend, and he hangs out on our boat.
And he looks up and says, "It's very high."
We'll show you a secret area to climb up.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you probably won't have any problems climbing because you're a really good climber.
He nods. He's very good at a lot of things. Yeah, so you take him over to the spot you've gone up before, 30 feet high, and are you going up? Are you telling him to go up and leaving him? What's the plan?
Good question. What's he want to do?
Well, yes, where are the dinosaurs? They're up there.
So you go up there, and you have to go inland a little bit. There's all sorts of different kinds of dinosaurs.
Oh,
Actually, we'll draw him a picture. We'll draw him a little picture of where the cave is.
Where does the river come out?
the river. There is a river that runs and falls off, but it's even higher than the 30 feet. But there is a river.
Okay.
It's like whatever it was, like half a day inland. I think I forget off the top of my head. But
Okay. So basically, even we'll tell them about the river and that there's some fish that are very mean, but you could certainly swim up the river, and they all come to the river to drink.
okay. You
So we'll
seem-
draw him a picture. We'll draw him a big picture so he can see it.
Okay.
Where
And
the
he looks-
cave is, where the river is. How far up was the lake into the mountain? Is that pretty far up?
Yes, that was pretty far up into the mountain.
Okay, then we won't put the lake in there then.
No, you're not setting him. You're not setting up for the mountain.
Not sending him up the mountain.
So he seems excited, but also again he's sad as he realizes that like you're giving him all this stuff in the picture, and he begins to climb up the mountain, and you guys aren't. He turns back and he looks sad. Any final words to the Seaclops who are sending inland?
Yeah, pulling an octopus out of water and sending him 20 feet inland seems like a good idea.
If
What's the
you
worst could
see-
happen?
If you see the leaf cloaks,
Hmm?
don't fight them. run.
He said to fight them. He said that mommy wants them hurt.
Yeah, but if there's too many of them,
Mommy does, but you're too young. Don't fight them. Run.
He looks confused for a moment, but then says, "Oh, okay."
but if you have to fight them, you have permission to hurt them. But he's right. Run first.
He nods.
Or
Okay.
swim where they can't get to you.
Okay. And he goes. He looks up with a little tear in his giant eye with the red pupil. And
The giant tear.
his tentacles just slap up the wall, and he's just up and gone. That's my tentacles climbing a wall. And the video clips on the edge, so it's really high quality.
As he's climbing up, Frankko will say, "Here, I'm going to help you get a head start on finding your toys," and will rip off the best dino mating call. Hero point.
This is your reputation on the line.
Gonna rip off the best dino mating call he can
That's
muster.
Okay. Yeah, that's a really good one. And with message, do you pick an individual or?
Yeah, so he's picking the dino to just let him, like, I mean the Seaclops, just to let him know, like, we're gonna get you a head start, like, so he doesn't get surprised by the sound.
Okay, got it. Okay, so you use the message to tell him, and then you shout.
And then he just belts out the loudest dino mating call he can muster.
All right, yeah, and that's fantastic. So yeah, so presumably quickly he's going to be encountering dinosaurs for better or worse.
Yeah.
New hybrid species. Don't worry about it.
Right? Yeah, I can have like dinoclopses pretty soon. A whole race of dinoclopses coming off this mountain. Okay, yeah, so he's gone. You have survive Octo Boy. What's the plan now?
Round 2, Plant Island?
Plant Island, I guess.
Yeah.
Plant Island, but for real? Let's take a bio break now. We've got like 40 minutes left, so we can take a quick one.
Word.
Everybody go take 5 minutes, and I'll see you back in a bit.
Word.
we're back. So, Khloros, take 2. Actually gonna sail there this time? Okay.
Maybe.
Unless our GM diverts us.
I know, right?
Exactly.
Unless you guy railroad you to another spot.
Woo.
Exactly. So you begin sailing, and let me look at the sailing chart. All right, it is a success and a success, but the weather is surprisingly good for you. So as you begin sailing, you notice that the wind is going with you. Like, and several times you've dealt with the wind going directly opposite the way you want to go, but today the weather seems to be working completely in your favor, and you, with a regular success, actually critically succeed and move that far. And then at nighttime, you again critically succeed and move that far.
Well, we
And-
should probably somewhere during our travel times. I'll mention it to Puck as our religious leader, as it were. That you know, we seem to be on the good side of Gozer, and I've noticed that the weather's been really good of late. What would you suggest we should do for thanking her for the wonderful weather we're receiving? I know the hair doesn't take any sacrifices, but I don't know what you would like.
let's see what we know about Gosray and what
Etiquette.
pleases her. Yeah, religion.
Yeah,
Is
religion. Yes.
That's terrible. Hold on. Yeah, it's 11:30. Why not?
Yeah, so you scratch your head.
Yes, there we go.
Scratch your head, you activate the hair. And yeah, so again, you know a lot of the things we talked about before, that she does like sacrifices, not specifically land versus sea things like you were talking about in the cave. That doesn't really bother them that much, because they also have, like, all the creatures of the sea are theirs, and also all the creatures of the air are theirs. So they have a lot of animals. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, gods are, yes, all animals. Apparently, all of them. Tidehawks are often seen as being the favored creatures of Gosray, and I don't know what a tidehawk is. It's a magical bird, like a water phoenix. So yeah,
No birds.
Yeah, Gosray loves birds and fish. But again, you do believe that you could and should sacrifice these things to them. To they. But yeah, you know a good deal, and you know all the proper honorifics and prayers to make a sacrifice to Gosray for thanking for this weather.
All right. So, yeah, Puck will relay that information.
Use Frankko to the best of your advantage. That guy is a natural performer.
just Frankko acting out the sacrifice.
Nobody will make it look awesome.
give it the gravitas
yeah.
it deserves.
Exactly. Yeah. Sure.
We should have snagged a few more compies while we were at the dinosaur island.
I think plenty of copies are getting snagged as we speak.
How's it getting back in the caves? I'm worried
Say,
about.
we can thank her when we reach the island. There'll be ample.
Yeah, that's a good plan.
I'll
Okay.
throw her a couple happy prayers while we're on the thank her, and then we'll do a proper sacrifice of maybe some green leaf people.
Okie doke. Yeah, so you can make some prayers along the way. But yeah, in the first day, you make excellent time. You're moving twice as fast as you believe you should, and the wind is just working with you, and the waves are like almost parting out of the way of your ship as you're driving through the ocean, sailing through the ocean. And a full day passes, and you sail on for a little bit more. And
Somewhere in there, does Akaleeta,
Mhm.
I don't know if I try to talk to him at some point. Has he received any correspondence from Gosray?
no. So yeah, he is around, and since you gave him a nice gift, he does appear sometimes when you ask, but frustratingly not every time. he decides
Sounds about right.
at his own whim. But yeah, so if you ask, no. He's heard nothing since he was told to tell you to give it back. He's heard nothing since. And he asked you gave it back, right?
We did. If
Good.
we didn't, you would probably been hearing something really soon if we hadn't.
Probably, maybe. He doesn't talk a lot. This is the first time he's told me to do anything in. He shrugs.
Can you talk back when he's talking to you, or does it just come to you as a dream?
It's a dream or a vision when I look into the water.
Well, if he ever tries to talk to you next time, try to tell him that we're trying to do the best to fix the god attacks. The problem with the god attacks.
The problem with
If
the
you can-
god attacks? And looks with left.
There's something causing problems to the gods, and we're trying to help them.
Okay.
So if you have the chance, if you can tell them that that's what we're doing, it would be appreciated.
Okay. I'll think it really hard, and maybe
That's a good idea.
maybe he'll hear. Okay. And you guys continue on towards Khloros. And it takes you another day and a half to get there. And as you approach, you see essentially like a crescent-shaped island full of very thick vegetation. But there are beaches. Like the whole thing it's flat enough that it's not like Savris where you got to climb up a mountain or anything like that to get up to the island. It's just like a flat beach, very short beach, and then hyper dense jungles in the shape of a crescent.
Do we by chance have any boats? I mean, I imagine we can't. If this is that kind of island, I imagine it's pretty shallow water for a long time. Do we have some kind of boat that we can take in?
I don't know. It's not. I don't think on the picture of the Chorus Hair that there is one. But I mean, you could have fashioned one. I assume. You went like a rowboat.
If it takes about 4 to 5 PCs as we go to, that's about what we need.
I'll go with that because again, there were multiple shipwrecks, so there was probably a salvageable rowboat. I'm okay with that because I don't want you to have to like think.
In
about
this
that.
case, I imagine we probably can't get the boat very close to the island this time. Unfortunately, if it's one of the shallow beaches, then it's probably a gentle curve that the boat probably can't get very close.
Sure, valid concern, and I don't want to think about it too much. So yeah, you can have a rowboat.
All right. Might make it difficult. We're trying to get to the boat in a super fast fashion. It might not be so safe this time. Start the boat, Jock. Start the boat, Jock.
I guess as we get close to the island, Frankko would think himself, but also consult with the other goblins about if there's a useful language that he should think about with his ring. Like, do plants talk? Are there things that like the naturey folks would say, like just ask him suggestions?
We heard them speak, didn't we? To each other on the mountaintop.
Yeah, whatever the druids were speaking would be even suggestion. I don't know if that's something you can do, but
Yeah, can you hold out on the speech until you hear it, and then try to copy the language you hear? Is that how the ring works?
I think it's you
No.
choose a language at the beginning of the day,
You
and
choose
that's
a
what you get.
common language at the beginning of the day. Also, of note.
Okay.
And G. Payne, if not others, would certainly know that the Druids are speaking Druidic, and that is not a common language. That is not a language you can use this on. It's a secret language.
Got it.
But your other question, do plants talk? And the answer is surprisingly yes. And they speak Sylvan. Is
that common?
I don't know.
Is that
I'll look
common
that
enough?
let me find out. It is. Why is that not? Of course, that answer would not be easy to find, right? Click on that now.
It's fine. We don't need to burn
I'm
time.
gonna go with
Well-
yes. I'm gonna go with yes for now because I don't want the language to be a problem here. So yes, G.
Buck
Payne
will
advised you
also
to speak Sylvan.
say that he can, speak with anyone.
Pathfinder
they
2 Sylvan
must.
is a common language.
Good, thank you. Okay, so there you go. So you now know the language of plants.
Seems like that's going to come in handy.
They list Druidic. It goes common, uncommon, and then they have secret language, Druidic, like a third
I mean-
category all by itself.
Yeah, correct.
How-
You're not supposed to know Druidic unless you're a Druid.
How are we?
Yeah, no chance.
Now at least Frankko can taunt them.
Yeah, of course. You'll be taunting the plants, of course. All right. So, what is your plan here? What do you know about this island? Like, what? Again, it's like a crescent. It's like a moon facing down. I don't have a picture. I wish I had drawn a picture. It's like a crescent moon facing down. Like arcing up.
There is a demigod plant / tree on the island.
Allegedly, yes. And Kirky doesn't
Allegedly,
like her.
is there? All right, from our perspective, can we see any like giant, amazing tree on the island from here?
No, All of the
Just
trees are
check.
fairly like large and lush, and it's a very thick jungle. There's no like one massive tree in the center or anything like that. But again, so there's this crescent moon, and it does like get taller towards the center of the crescent. But it's not like a mountain or anything like that. Sorry.
If the seas are still cooperating, Franco would suggest just doing a circle around the island, seeing what we see, figuring out where the best landing point is, and then going from there.
Okay, sure. Yeah, and the seas are certainly cooperating. So yeah, you do a lap of the island, and so again, you look around and you don't find anything like what like Mendax was asking about. There's no like one giant tree, and it doesn't seem to be any signs of civilization on the island, and there's no like one peak bigger than the other. So nothing immediately jumps out at you. But you do find several good landing points on the beach. There are like down by the tips of the crescent on the south side. It's very flat and calm waters. You believe that'd be a really good place to land. And you do find actually, let me make a everybody can make it. Is it perception or I'll go survival. So let me mash the button. Survival. Oh god, it's everybody. It's even the upper deck and everything.
Gimbolo. Oh, Gimbolo doesn't have the.
What? Oh, I can hit Gimbolo. I hit Hemo by accident, but I can hit Gimbolo. There you go.
Fuck.
This is going well. That's everybody, yeah? Looks like that was everybody.
You know what? I've got 3 hero points I need to use.
Go ahead, roll it.
Just saying.
You're our best roll, so be
I
careful.
know.
It's gonna get worse.
That's only a +10, about a 50-50 chance. Should I click on somebody else, or is it just do it myself?
Just roll. Yeah, roll again yourself. Go to the
You said this
skill.
was survival, right?
Yes, survival. Correct. There you go. Yeah. Okay. So you do find a spot on the northeast side, which is closer to the raised center of the what's it called? The crescent. So you do believe that anywhere on the southern side of the beaches is good, and then on the northeast side of the crescent there is a nice calm place to land that kind of leads up to the center of the island.
Do we see any kind of trails or gaps in the trees?
No, there are shockingly no gaps at all in the trees that you see.
And no
at least
paths.
from this distance, there are no visible paths. But again, on that one area you found in the back, that's good survival check. It's not really a path, but you do see slightly less dense tree cover. I still wouldn't call it a path, but going up the side of the island.
Works for me.
All right. So you guys work your way up to that area, and you get out of the boat, and you begin moving a little bit somewhere. So do you have a destination in mind, or wandering? What's the game plan on the island?
Get to the top of the crescent, climb some trees now and again, look around, see if we can find anything, and
Agreed.
yeah, see if we can't find our way to the tree lady.
All right. Okay. So you found that path. You're walking around. Okay. So you begin walking towards what you believe to be the high point, the center of the island. And I'm going to use those same survival checks, because why not? And Mendax is doing well. So Mendax, again, surprising, the city boy is leading you guys through the jungle now. And that's really, really interesting. But yeah, he's doing the best job. And the jungle here, as I said before, is extremely thick and overgrown. The beach is very short, and then almost immediately it's like hyper dense jungle. And you're walking around, and what did you roll on your survival check? Even where are you? An 11. You rolled a natural 1. Okay, no, so you don't got it. Apparently, an 11 is a natural 1 for you on survival. So yeah, so you're walking around even, and something is weird to you, but you can't place it. You're looking around at everything, and something is just irking you. And it is Mendax who notices it, that all of the fruit here, Mendax, isn't right. Like the jungle trees have these large fruit, but it's nothing you've seen before. Things are just strange. Like you look at something and it's almost an apple, and that thing is sort of a watermelon, but it's not. The colors are wrong, the shapes are wrong, there's all these things, and if you crack one open and take a look at it, it's just it's different and weird. You think it's perfectly edible, there's nothing wrong with this, but something is odd.
So the
I'll
fruit is
definitely.
not quite what it should be, but
I'll
it's not
point that
pink.
out to not. Yeah, I'll point that out to even.
Yeah, you're right now. It's not what it should be, but you believe it's edible. It's just it's something you haven't ever seen before, and it's weird. It's different.
Well, even we'll grab some weird fruit and keep on trucking.
All right.
Asking for a friend, do we see any weird gimbleberries?
There are berries of various kinds. I don't know if they're gimbaled or not, but there are
I mean-
various berries, and G-Pain would certainly be interested in this island a good deal.
Actually, has anybody ever seen what a gimbleberry bush looks like? I mean, I've heard of these gimbleberries. I've seen what he says is a gimbleberry, but I've never seen a gimbleberry bush all this time.
Well, he planted something at Kirky's. I don't know how if it was a bush or just
Seeds.
seeds.
He had a
Yeah,
he had
fair,
seeds.
fair point. Well,
So,
I thought
Yeah.
I thought she magically bushed them. I thought like you went away for a day and
did
she
you?
had grown them.
No, that'd make sense.
Yeah, like he just vanished, and like G-Pain was shocked that she just made the bush exist. But yeah, they do exist, and Gimbolo is supposedly dotted with different kinds of them. In quotes, different kinds, because like they are plot points. Okay. So yeah, you guys head up, and you're looking around. The fruit is weird. And then I'll call for a perception check. Give me a second. All right.
Is the vegetation doing anything, or is it all just like, is it moving around? Does it seem like it's alive, or is it just like kind of normal?
So far normal, but we have a lot of good perception check rolls, so I'll talk to you in a second. Oh, and squirrel's there, but we don't need to roll squirrel. Good asking, Frankko. So after a while of moving through the jungle, you hear a rustle that you're certain wasn't one of your party. So everybody stops, and Frankko and Mendax, you very clearly hear, maybe a couple like 50, 60 feet away, you hear a rustle in the bushes. And Frankko, who rolled a 23, you hear whispers.
Do I understand any of them?
You do, and they're speaking Sylvan. And you hear something whisper, "Meat folk."
Who are you?
And you hear more rustling, as if they were shocked that you heard them. And you hear, "Meat folk, meat folk, meat folk." Several people now are echoing "meat folk." One shouts, "They stink! They stink of meat! Of meat! They stink! They stink of
Sorry, does our smell bother you?
meat!" They're talking to us. They're talking to us. They're talking. He speaks Sylvan. He speaks Sylvan. Sylvan. He speaks Sylvan. How does he know? How does he know? How does he know? And you hear again. They're different voices from slightly different angles, so you're certain they're different people.
We're more naturey in terms of as far as meat people go.
They're green. They're green. 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 Verdant. Green. Green.
Yeah, exactly.
And one something comes walking out of the bush. You see a little dude. And he's about 2 feet tall, so he's smaller than you, but he's not, statistically, he's small. But he is smaller than you goblins. And he walks out with a little wooden spear. And he say, "Meat folk not allowed on island." And behind him, "Not allowed, not allowed, not allowed, not allowed."
We're sorry, we didn't mean to intrude.
Why are you
We
here?
heard we heard there's somebody here who could use our help.
And he looks at you and the others behind you. Who? Who needs your help?
There's somebody in the middle of this island? Bigger
Ever tell us
plant
her
person?
name?
Yeah, do we, I forget, did Kirky tell us her
You
name?
do know her name. Her name is Riza Zuis.
Okay.
That's right. Now if you say it, I never remember it.
So yeah, Frankko would say that. And we just need to make sure that she's safe? Has anybody else been here?
He looks at you curiously. Why does she need your help?
Well, has anybody else been here?
He nods.
Other meat people?
He nods.
Recently?
He'll nod. Yeah.
Uh, did you scare them away, or what did they do?
They fought us and they left.
They fought you? And you fought them off?
No. And you behind him here. No, 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 no.
Where did they go? Where did they make it to?
They didn't find her. They found us. They didn't like us.
But they were looking for her?
They said so, but we didn't tell. We didn't tell. We didn't tell. We didn't tell. Didn't tell.
That's good. That was smart of you. Those are the people that we're trying to protect her from.
Oh, they're gone now. Gone, 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 forever gone.
You're sure they're not coming back?
He shakes his head no.
I assume they fought well. They were prepared. They were armed.
Mm-hmm.
They've been traveling around the islands here. Do you know that there are other islands around?
He shrugs. Let's see if he doesn't know or care.
They've been traveling around the islands trying to find people like her. Gods, semi-gods like her.
Why?
Well, they're after power, I guess.
Someone behind him shouts, "Look at the leaves! Look at them! They have leaves! Look, like us!" And says, "Light leaves, like us! Us, like leaves, leaves!" And another one comes out and begins pointing at Even. Green, green, verdant leaves. And one of them says, "But they stink like meat, stink meat."
Again, apologies for the smell. That's what we eat. That's what we eat.
You eat meat?
Yeah, like I said, we're nature meat people.
Meat eats meat?
Yeah.
And then what he turns back and says, "Meat eats meat, double stink." And some of them begin chuckling. Double stink, double stink.
Yeah, most importantly, we mean you no harm. We're here because we also want to protect her, like you.
You see that he looks around behind him, and he comes back, and he's a little suspicious. He doesn't know what you want with her.
Frankko, the letter.
Does Frankko have it?
One of us has it, so
what
let's
is
say
it?
Frankko has it.
What is the letter?
Kirky wrote us a letter
Oh.
from her to Risa Zuis.
Oh, I don't remember that, but okay. What was in the letter?
It was just a letter of introduction that, like, she should talk to us.
Okay.
That, hey, these guys are okay. They're out stopping these god-killing shits.
Okay. So
yeah, I think Frankko probably doesn't have it, but I would assume Mendax probably does because I think he was the one who requested. No. Okay.
I don't
Someone
think so.
has.
Some of my
Fine. One of you
characters
has
she does.
it.
Someone has it. So Frankko will ask for it to be produced, and we'll say we were here. Read this. We were sent. We're here to protect her.
So he takes the piece of paper and looks at it confused, and flips it over several times and shows it to his friend that came out, and neither of them seem to be able to read. And one of them says Garfink. The other turns back to Garfink, and you hear behind him, "Garfink, Garfink, 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 Garfink know what to do. Garfink, take him to Garfink. Garfink know what to do. What to do?" And there's like all these echoing jabbering behind them. And he says, "Garfink."
If Garfink is here, you can feel free to take the letter to him or her or it.
And he looks at his friend, "Take letter," and says, "Take them, take letter, take them." And behind them, they're debating in echoes. Them, him, letter, them. It's like, we take you to Garfink.
Okay.
And
Whatever you feel most
they,
comfortable
they,
with.
they, they do brandish the spears aggressively, as if they are taking you to Garfink.
Whatever makes you feel most comfortable.
Okay, everybody's cool with a bunch of plant people coming out of the woods with spears?
Is there another option?
Well, I mean, you could slaughter a bunch of plant people coming out of the woods with spears.
No.
I think we're good. I think we'll let them take us to.
Yes.
They seem credible with what they've said.
Yeah, so several of those guys come out, and you also see among them there are a couple of these little vine leshies, which are smaller. They look like this. This one looks like it has berries for heads, but they look like that. And there is one weird looking dude. So the two scouts come out first, and then the other one comes in with the berries. And then one walks up and looks a bit alien. He looks like this. He has fly traps for hands and like a wicked grinning face. And you can tell that like he's staring at you and he's not repeating. Like the other people are all like echoing each other and being all weird. And he is oddly silent and walks like when he shows up, he has these red pupilless eyes and he's just staring at you.
He 100% eats meat.
Yeah. Yes. So the other ones are like Garfink, take you to Garfink, and they're approaching with spears. Like it's sort of funny the way that they're doing all this, like but it is. They're trained to do this. But this one guy, he's walking behind them, just like staring at who was doing most of the talking. That was Frankko, right?
Frankko.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so he's staring.
All Frankko.
He's staring primarily at Frankko and just assessing you as you guys move on. And we'll call it there. He's taking you to Garfink. We'll call it there. Chris,
Should I
losing it.
roll anything to see like how well I convince them,
Sure, you can roll a
or
diplomacy
like
check. Yeah,
what kind of impression I make?
sure. That's true. Go for it.
Bummer.
Bummer.
Not 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they are taking you to Garfink, so they don't hate you. And that's what we'll call it. So yeah, let's go with morals, or sorry, MVPs. Any nominations for MVPs? Who did what?
Frankko's performances with as a dragon. And his,
Yeah, I-
discussion with the little green plant creatures now is going pretty well.
And Mendex handling old One Eye was pretty good too. Those would be my two.
Agreed.
All right. Go ahead and give me a / GM. Go ahead and vote for it. And I will look at the morals. Fish sticks. The dolphin looks very not enthused to be in this situation. We've invented Cheese Whiz. Try talking to the fish first before you sacrifice it. What if it talks back? This is Dad and D. We're used to diffusing tantrums. And I had fun with that. That was really good, the way you diffuse the tantrum. I enjoyed that. All right, so MVPs. I have 2 votes. Need more votes. Frankko, you are the MVP.
Oh, okay.
You can have your hero point next thing. And the votes, I think the try talking to the fish and the Dad and D are tied right now. Anybody else want to vote? Boom, boom, boom. Dad and D. We're doing Dad and D. All right. So yeah, thanks for playing. Doobly-doo, all that stuff. Blah, blah, blah. I love you all. We are... I don't have Kasama, but everybody else is drinking Kasama, apparently. And I guess I have to get into that. Everybody, go buy Kasama. Apparently, it's very good. All right, everybody. Thanks for playing. Thanks for watching. See you next time.